Hello everyone and welcome to Drifting, a traveler space opera TTRPG show that is now currently in its 4th episode. And there are some people who would not be wrong in suggesting that we haven't started yet. Although we have got off the ground, we are in space currently.
Dude, this overlay is sick. Every time I see it.
I know, I love it.
It's so good.
Askren did such a great job with it. So, first up, we're going to have a go around in no particular order, because I get shit when I go in an actual order. And we'll start with Safi and Astrid. Hey!
Hi, hello. I forgot what we talked about in this bit.
Just talk about talk about yourself and promote anything you want, and then just talk about whatever you want for a little bit.
Alright. Hi, I'm Safi. I do roleplay in single player horror games and stuff like that on my Twitch channel on Wednesdays and Saturdays. I just finished Layers of Fear, and next I'm playing Soma, which should be horrifying.
Oh.
I play Astrid, and it's stupid.
Okay. Let's move on over to Tesichka and Kareen.
Hi, I play Kareen, who is a pilot, terrible cook, and runaway bride. Yeah, I think those are the only things you need to know so far. And she's an interesting character. And in my off time when I'm not green, I stream on my channel occasionally, and also on the Borderlands channel, and I'm also in Rhyme on Table Story. Borderlands channel is having a very cool Borderlands science interview episode where we get to interview 4 incredible humans, some scientists, some computer scientists, and like the person at Gearbox that worked on all of it. Just cool people. And yeah, we get to ask them a whole bunch of questions about how the heck all of that works. So I'm really excited for that. That's this week. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Let's move onward and downwards to Peachy and also Colton.
Okay, I don't like the implication of downward, but I'm Colton Nguyen and I play grizzled war veteran Peachy Pixelate. That's incorrect. I'm Peachy. I do roleplay. I'm in Leech on Table Story. I do a ghost hunting, myth busting kind of thing, and I play a lot of racing games. And I am in fact a grizzled war veteran. It's just the war was me running up the stairs earlier after I got a drink, and now I need to sit down.
If you want to see an angry Welshman shouting at ghost hunters just trying to live their lives, I suggest going and watching Peachy's Ghost Hunters stream. It's a lot of fun.
I thought you were going to say Leech then. It's an angry Welshman shouting at vampires.
And finally, Nobi and also Amelia.
Hello. Hi, I'm Amelia Tyler. I'm a voice actor for video games. They actually pay people to do that. It's really weird.
Oh.
You might know me as, God, I hate the self-promotion bit. The narrator of Baldur's Gate 3 and Nyrissa and Wendowag in the Pathfinder games and Malady and Divinity Original Sin 2 and all sorts of other crazy shit. But when I'm not doing that, I love doing tabletop roleplay. I'm obviously on this show playing Nomi Sine, monosyllabic botanist. And when I'm not doing that on Thursdays, I'm over on Follow Black Cats playing After the Fire, which is our Game of Thrones universe, deeply political, intrigue-heavy game, playing a politician who can't lie, Lady Faye Rowan. Who's
politician who can't lie?
Yeah, she's shit at lying. She's awesome and I love her, but she may at the moment be hostage and having a really shit time of it. But she was in a rom-com for most of last season, so it's about time.
Sounds like an interesting show.
It's really good fun. It's really good fun, but it is deep. I know way too much about Game of Thrones lore now. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I have nothing else to add other than I wish I'd bought more Red Bull.
So, before we get into the show and back to space, last week the crew of the Deep Waters found a ship drifting in space. There was a lot of concern about said ship. However, when they got on and had a look around and did a little breaching and clearing, it seems most likely that there was some pirates who kind of broke in, disabled the ship, and then kind of took everything there, including possibly the people. The really worrying thing was a couple of
passing vehicles. My window's closed, so that's an impressive amount of noise.
There's a couple of blood stains, some in the bridge, in the pilot's area, and some in the storage area as well. And Colton, having a bit of a rummage around in places he knows where, having worked on ships similar, or having knowledge of these type of ships, did pick up a what's the best way to describe it? Like a suspicious backpack, I guess.
Yeah, it was a dodgy backpack.
Filled with fairly dodgy crap. So,
like a polymer gun that can go through metal detectors. Some basically USB flash sticks. That we're not entirely sure what's on one of them because it's
one of them was password protected. You couldn't get into it. One of them apparently had nothing on it, and another one was like there's a few kind of files and stuff. The main thing was a video drive, which was just a message from what appeared to be his fiancée or wife or lover or something.
Something like that.
Yeah. So, after that, they decided not to take the ship, or kind of like strip it for parts. Instead, basically a message was shot off towards the inner system, saying, "Hey, your ship's out here, and it appears to be discarded or derelict. Come pick it up. Hopefully when they get back there'll be a bit of a reward for that." After that, I believe the only instances of interest after said thing was Astrid got some chocolate. Boom. I will be forced to ask in a bit how much she's already eaten of said chocolate, so have a think about that. And the captain and Colton had a little bit of a chat about past military days, having realized that they're both ex-military men, after like kind of falling into lockstep in terms of breaching and clearing the ship.
We breached and cleared the shit out of that place.
Yeah, and they had an interesting chat about some of the past times. It turns out that while Colton was engaged in like military activity on planet and on the ground, the captain was in the Star Marines, basically boarding ships and ship-to-ship combat type stuff. So. Anyway.
Oh, and it came out that Colton was quite important in the military.
Yeah.
Sword.
So, getting back into space and into the ship. Things are running pretty decently for Colton, for Astrid. As time goes on, you don't run into any more complications. Would you check on the bodge job you've done?
No.
No, just wait for it to break again.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bodge job. That's what it's for.
Yeah. So far there There may have been like one kind of or two instances of flickering of the power, but it hasn't disconnected, and it appears to be, for the most part, holding together.
There's probably a bunch more silly little things that I'm doing around that get those done, because that's done for now.
Yeah.
It's not important right now until it is important.
Yeah.
Captain's orders.
Yeah. Nomi, the farm is coming along. The thing is it's got to be time. Like, I mean, kind of 3 weeks there, 3 weeks back. You'll start to see progress probably on the.
Yeah, I'd imagine all the little seedlings have been put out in their trays. All the seeds are in little boxes with plastic wrap over them, just under the heat lights, trying to get them to sprout before we plant them out into something bigger.
And Colton's fixed up all the electricity and the UV lamps and everything for you. So.
What color are they? I've been wanting to ask because I learned way too much about plants for this. Are they normal colored lights or are they purple lights?
I would say purple, just because that looks cool.
Yay!
Yeah. And I would assume that Nomi is not yet satisfied with the setup of the farm. Like, probably, like, yay, Colton managed to kind of, like, hook up this stuff and get it mostly done, but...
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be happy until it's, like, full-on hydroponic system. Yeah. But she's been keeping herself busy once all the seedlings and everything are set and ready to go. It's just waiting.
Yeah.
So I think if anybody had sort of strayed into the garden, you would see all these bags of rubbish that she brought in and washed everything meticulously, and now it's all laid out on the garden, on the ground. Like, if you've ever seen one of those shows where people are shipwrecked and they just have to pick up flotsam off the beach and arrange it, she's kind of at that stage now where she's sorting everything and figuring out what's useful for what.
Okay. Kareen, you've been helping the captain, like, figure out the... Actually, that will lead us into a role, most likely, because you're teaching, inverted commas.
Yes.
So yeah, you're helping the captain with the,
Scanning stuff?
With the scanning stuff. We'll have that be, navigation, I think.
Ooh, okay.
Don't forget to click on and off for the boons. Yeah.
Navigation. I don't know if that's good.
Oh, 12. That's very good.
Good.
Let me have a see on how the captain... Does he have navigation? No. It's more important how willing he is to learn, and geez, that's not a great role. He's not picking it up quickly, but once he gets an idea, you find you don't have to teach him again, at least. So it's like, at best currently, he can kind of tell you, he can look at the scanners and tell you that space is out there. He's pretty sure of that. Past that, like, he wouldn't be able to lock onto a ship and receive its signal, or you know, or be like, oh, I know exactly what this is, floating out in space, kind of thing.
I think you might need more coffee. That always helps to learn.
I don't need to stay up as late as you. But hopefully, now that we're back on a more secure trajectory, you'll be able to leave it to the... It's essentially like a cruise control where you just set it to go forward and it just stays stable in its course.
Yeah, true. So I can keep an eye on the scans.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Tomorrow night, you're cooking. So have a think about what you're going to make.
Okay, will do.
Right. And he like gets up and wanders back into the living area.
Yeah, Kareen kind of like thinks about it for a second and is like, damn it. And then glugs coffee. That was a live and in-game kind of glug.
So it's a couple of days out from the derelict. You have probably a week and a half left on the trip before you get into kind of above orbit of Talend, and then you can land there at the designated landing spot. Before Kareen cooks, is there anything anyone would like to touch on, or any conversations anyone would like to have? You will have time afterwards as well, so.
I think Nomi would actually rock up to wherever Kareem was. I think she's gonna go and find her.
Yeah, I'd probably be on the bridge just manning the scanner at the moment. Kareen's still a bit nervous about the derelict, and she's extremely nervous about cooking, so she's just totally not thinking about it as a way to deal.
I have a proposition for you.
Oh? Hi. What proposition?
Stand up.
Oh, okay. And she
Touch
would
your
stand
toes.
up. Okay. Why? Sure. And she'll do it.
How flexible is she?
She's actually pretty flexible.
Hmm.
She can do it.
Good. You drink a lot of stimulants.
I do. They actually help me to.
You can stand
stay-
up again, if you'd like.
Okay. But I'm comfy sitting.
Oh, no, I continue.
Yeah, I like coffee. It keeps me going. Why?
I'm not sure how to put this delicately. Lack of exercise dulls the wits and slows the reflexes. And I've noticed that you rely more heavily than others on stimulants.
Well, they keep me going, and exercise is a lot of work.
Also, brief exposure to UV has psychological benefits, which I believe might aid in your chosen path.
Well, I used to go sailing actually a little bit once upon a time in the life before, but we're in space, so there's not really anywhere to do that here. So
No.
much work again.
Does that thing need you currently?
I guess I can set it to alert me if anything pops up. Why?
Come with me.
Where?
And just walk silently to the garden without saying anything else.
I think Kareen would be like, crap, she's gonna put me to work or something. But I should probably.
You don't really have an excuse. You've just
Yeah.
been doing busy work to distract yourself from the cooking, so
Yeah,
you're not
so
needed
she'll,
on the bridge. You're just on the bridge.
yeah, to look busy. So I'll just set up the scanner to basically alert me if anything comes up
Yeah.
via cat AI and follow Nomi very apprehensively.
Okay.
I think as you walk in, you'll see all these seedlings set out underneath the grow lights, and then the vast majority of the floor is just strewn with all sorts of different rubbish and pots and things. And it seems like it's been arranged, or it's in the process of being arranged, but it doesn't really make much sense currently what's going on.
Whoa. What's going on here?
Plants are growing.
Right, but what's... Oh, never mind. So what did you need from me?
Carbon dioxide.
What do you mean?
Well, these plants will need carbon dioxide, and I can't provide enough myself. And much as humans and plants exist in a state of symbiosis planet-side, I believe you and they could exist in a state of symbiosis here.
Doesn't the air get recirculated throughout the whole ship, though? So I could be on the bridge.
If I were to grow some kind of plants in here that we didn't want recirculated, how would they breathe?
Are you growing plants like that?
Not yet.
What kind of plants are you planning to grow?
That depends what we find. But
Interesting.
for now, I believe you could find something here that you don't find in caffeine.
Like what?
Sit. And she'll sit down on the floor, like not even sit. She just like sinks down, almost yoga pose, without using her hands in front of this big pile of rubbish. And
Do I have to do anything other than sit?
Not if you don't want to.
Okay, I can sit. So I sit.
Okay. Are you sitting down facing each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kareen's like curious.
Unsure?
Yeah, she's very unsure.
Yeah.
But she's kind of curious about Nomi, and so she's like, all right, I mean, all I have to do is sit here, so.
Okay.
I'm kind of imagining like this big pile of rubbish in between them, and then sitting either side facing each other.
Yeah. It is kind of pretty in here with the little bits of green you've managed to bring to life. I'm assuming there's a little bit of green.
Shoots and there's the tangerine tree as well. It's looking a lot more vibrant. Actually, you haven't been in the farm, so you didn't see it when it was almost dead. But
oh, okay.
There's a nice, pretty little tangerine tree which is looking good.
Oh,
Yay!
Or sapling, not really tree.
It is pretty in here. You did all this.
Yes. Well, I didn't do most of this one. It was dying, but now it's not.
Oh, I don't know much about plants, but it looks pretty.
Plants give what we need. And she looks a little confused at having this conversation with somebody who, like, how the hell do you explain plants to somebody who doesn't understand plants? Coming from where she's come from. But she just silently takes like a plastic bottle and places it in a pile of plastic bottles and picks up like an old fork or something and places that in a similar items section.
Kareen's just like looking around because she doesn't really know what she's supposed to do, so she's just kind of sitting there breathing.
I would say, Nobi, you probably get the impression that Kareen is currently unsure as to what she's supposed to be doing.
That's fine.
Okay.
So, how long did you want me to hang out with you here?
You can leave if you'd like.
Oh. Well, I'll just sit for a minute. Thanks for inviting me. She's just like totally not understanding this person, but she likes it in the farm. It's pretty, so she's kind of like, okay, I'll just sit here. She
Soon
might pick up.
There will be more for you to admire, I suppose.
Oh, cool. Right, more plants. But you said some of them we wouldn't want to breathe around?
Perhaps.
Are you gonna like separate them from the rest of it so we can still be in here?
Perhaps.
Yeah. Because I mean, if it's good for us to be in here, right, it makes sense that you wouldn't want to take that ability away.
Annoyingly correct. And she'll take a bottle and kind of hold it up. She's not showing it to her, but just like, look what I'm doing, like you do with a toddler. Like, teach by showing.
Yeah, Kareen will look at her and just be like, I was kind of, she won't say this, she'll just think it, like, I was kind of enjoying sitting here, but I guess I should help. Okay. So she'll also pick up a bottle and start putting things away, like really slowly.
Are you following the, like, from what you can tell, Naomi's system of things with, you know, things that are the same going with the same?
Yes, definitely, because I don't know what any of this stuff is even, right? I mean, it just looks like random bits and things to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure she has a system. I'm just going to do what she does because then I don't really have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick up something, take a look at it, no idea what it is, put it over in a pile of things that also you have no idea what they are. And
pretty much.
As you go, I'm not sure if you guys continue conversationally. You're doing a great job, by the way, just FYI. Of having a human conversation. It is very different from, you know what? The best way I can describe it for you, Kareen, is it's like when you used to go on those long haul trips, and it was just you in the ship by yourself, and you ended up just like sitting at your pilot seat, like chilled, looking out at the stars as the ship kind of traveled onwards. So it's it's a great way to reshuffle your thoughts and your head.
Yeah, Kareen's avoiding thinking about dinner.
Yeah.
And so her mind just kind of starts drifting to like where she came from before the ship, and she really doesn't want to think about any of that. So then she looks around and like sees a little tiny plant somewhere and is like, what's that one? So she just starts asking questions.
That will be basil.
Oh. You put that on food, right?
Yes.
Okay. It looks really small though, so I'm guessing it's not ready yet?
Were you not small once?
Yes, but I don't really know the sizes of plants compared. Like, I mean, small humans, right? We've all seen small humans compared to big humans. I've never really seen a small or big basil plant before. I don't really know what they look like.
They get quite large.
Oh.
Not as large as some.
Oh. What's that one?
That strawberry.
Ooh, I like strawberries. That one's definitely not ready because I don't see any actual strawberries.
8 to 12 months.
Oh, wow. That's a really long time.
Mm.
But cool. I'll look forward to that.
do you, and you can see her like, how do I ask people about things? She's not used to asking people personal questions, but she really wants this chick's carbon dioxide.
This whole conversation has kind of been two people trying to figure out how to approach a certain subject. One of which being, I want to talk to you, and the other one being, I want to know what's going on.
Do you not have plants where you come from?
We did, but I never really spent a lot of time or any time around the plants themselves. Like, I'd see them and think they were pretty. And I know some of them have something to do with, like, I know they're related to food, right? But I've never...
Some
yeah, I've never
very much not related to food.
Are they just there to be pretty then?
Pretty, poisonous.
Poisonous?
Some.
Why would you want to grow plants that are poisonous?
You can see her almost meditating on this. Like, how do you explain this? What is toxic in large amounts can be beneficial in smaller amounts.
Oh, so they're like medicinal.
Unless you want to kill someone.
Why would you want to? She kind of like takes a second look at Nomi.
You're
okay.
A pilot, no?
Yes.
And you've never met pilots who fly combat?
I've met a few, but usually when there's okay, so I've never flown combat. I mostly flew exploration, and some transport and stuff. But the people that I do know, they never use plants or poisons. Like if they needed to do combat, they just use the ship's weapons, like guns and stuff, you know? Like how would they get the, I mean, I guess they could shoot the poison out of the guns and maybe it would, I feel like that would be really slow.
She'll just stare at her like, I don't know where I am right now. What is this conversation?
Yeah, Corinne's just like, yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it being used if you really wanted to kill someone, but why not just use a gun? And why would you want to kill someone?
I don't. But
so why would you want to grow poison?
If I distilled the coffee you drink in a week and fed it to you all at once, or injected it into your veins, you would die.
I don't know. I've actually drank a lot of coffee in one day back when I was in school or when I had some really long flights and I was by myself. My tolerance is kind of high, but I sort of get your point. But like, why would you want to do that? Then you'd have no pilot.
Correct. But in small doses, it is beneficial to you, no?
Oh yeah, extremely. And Corinne would have like a little canteen type thing of coffee that she would have brought with her, and she'd like pull it out and take a sip.
The grounds from that are in the soil for here, and over here, and over here.
Oh, so it's actually useful for me to drink coffee for you too, as well as me. Cool.
Plants like caffeine too, some of them.
Gives you energy, right?
Correct.
Interesting that we and the plants have that much in common.
It is a symbiotic relationship. We cannot exist without each other.
Right. You said that before. That does make sense.
What they breathe out, you breathe in. What they produce, we eat. They use us to transport seeds that grow and produce more of them.
It's quite a challenge to have a fully self-sustaining system in a spaceship, though. I've seen them before, but it's hard. Usually, like, we would usually pack MREs and, you know, sort of pre-cooked, dried food to bring with us. Because, I mean, if you want to have plants in a spaceship, you need somebody like you to take care of them, right? Not always available. I think what I'm trying to say is it's cool that you're here.
She'll blush ever so slightly and look down and just carry on sorting.
Yeah, Korean, like, she's trying to be nice, and she actually does think it's really cool that Nomi knows all this stuff and brought her down here, because it is a really nice place to be. So she's just kind of pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
And trying to help. She just stops talking and continues to do stuff.
We'll fade off as the two kind of have their moment, both think, let's not push it any further, we did okay this time, and just lapse into a kind of like a silent sorting and everything like that.
That was Nomi's plan all the way through, like letting a kid run off all their energy so they fall asleep. Like,
yeah.
Once she's talked enough, she'll shut up and just sort stuff.
So does anyone else have anything they're doing or wanting to do before we head to Korean making dinner?
I would like to go to the engine room.
Okay. I'm assuming you're going to see Astrid.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna go and see Astrid.
Okay.
And I'm carrying like a little bundled pack, and my gun is out of its holster.
And do you just walk straight in? Do you knock? Do you shout?
Yeah, I'll knock.
Okay, Astrid.
Yeah.
You're keeping an eye on the engine. The fuel drain is actually reasonably efficient. The engine of a few of the kind of mechanical parts around the ship, the engine's actually quite efficient. And then you hear a knock at the door.
Who is it?
Me.
Hey ho.
Open the door.
Alright, fucking hell. I'm gonna open the door.
Yep.
Do you always have that music so loud?
Yeah? Alright, turn it down for you.
How do you even think?
Is that like a philosophical question? Like, how do we think? And
No, it's very noisy in here. How do you think? Question.
the thinking?
That rap music.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Go get yours.
Why?
Because you need to clean your gun.
I know how to clean a gun.
Okay. Go get your gun cleaning kit. Show me.
Don't have a gun cleaning kit. I mean, yeah, sure, I can use
Right. Here you go. Some machine oil.
All right. Astrid leaves the engine room and goes up to her bunk. I guess she tries to. I imagine, like in the time since she would want to hide the poly, so she's gonna pulled up one of the panels under the bed and made like a little makeshift storage box. So,
if you'd like, you could go with a random book that was in that room and just like cut out the pages, so you could.
mate, do you think
slot
she's
the
smart
gun
enough to
in
do that?
It's just under the mattress or some shit.
Just under the mattress. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I'm gonna like pull it out from under this panel under the bed. Keep it tucked like under a jacket until she gets down to the engine room.
While she's gone, I wanna see how good she is. I just wanna know how power levels and engine stuff is just from my cursory glance from what I know.
Yeah. It's all. You're not like when it comes to the engine. You don't really know your left from your right, but in terms of like power draw and efficiency, as far as you can tell, she's got it running as best it can, and actually probably a little bit under, just so it doesn't draw. Like if it runs at full efficiency, it'll draw too much power. So I guess efficiency is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Like if it runs as hard as it can run, it'll draw too much power. So she's kind of running it just below that to maximize it. Also, Astrid, as you're running back through the hallway with like the gun kind of tucked under your jacket, the captain's walking the other way and says, "Oh, hello, Astrid.
That captain.
I thought you were in the engine room."
I was.
Oh.
I'm back there now.
Right. Oh, don't let me stop you.
Bathroom break. Sorry.
Sure. No. I'm. Whenever you need to. Yeah. Just,
I mean, Colton cooked last time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, keep up the good work.
Hey, Captain.
Good. And just kind of like you pass each other awkwardly in the hallway, and you run back down to the engine room.
I just sprint at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it.
Astrid comes back through the engine room door.
You keep it in your room.
I'm not telling you where I keep it.
You keep it around the ship where everyone's walking back and forth, day by day, as I check every single panel as I go throughout the ship. Didn't think so. Okay, show me. Crash check, just clear the breach and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's empty, and
Just make sure. It's just safe. It's just safe to do so.
One of the things about this gun, it doesn't have a safety.
Yeah, I know.
So it's
based on a Glock, isn't it? Glocks don't have safety.
It's small, compact. It doesn't have much penetration to it, but it's a perfect weapon to surprise someone with, especially in close quarters.
Okay, do you know what this is?
No.
This is a slide drop safety.
Okay.
If you pull the trigger, it's still gonna go off. If you drop it, it won't go off.
Okay.
Get on the gun. I pass over my gun tool.
I'll fit it in.
No, tear it down first. It needs cleaning. Let's stay there. It's been in there for God knows how long. Nothing has ever even been cleaned.
First. Nice. Yeah, and I should roll unpiece it. To get ready to go good clean.
Okay, so when she gets all the pieces apart and it's just I assume you just take it apart and put all the bits there. Colton rearranges it in a very organized pattern of all the bits. Like the slide, the control group, the firing pins, the springs and stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple of pieces of it that, because it's not made of metal, is very important to keep clean. I imagine you would know this, Colton. I think you would too, actually, Astrid, to be honest. So, like, the firing pin and some of the springs and, like, more important parts very much need to be kept clean and kept kind of, like, free of anything to jam it, because these things jam quite easily.
Okay, see this? See this slide? All the back stuff, that's carbon. That's a build-up from firing. This needs to be cleaner than a baby's bottom. Otherwise it'll fail, and you'll be dead.
I know this.
Why is it covered in carbon?
Maybe because the person who owned it before me was a shithead and didn't know what they were doing.
Okay,
Not like
so
I've
there's no
just been
excuse for you
walking
to
around
be
and firing off.
Right.
I think someone would notice if there was a fucking hole in the ship, wouldn't they?
I hand her some silicone spray and just offer it to her.
The only reason I haven't cleaned it is because, as I said, I don't have a gun cleaning kit. I was going to try and pick one up when we got to the station.
No, you have.
Oh, can I keep it?
Colton absolutely has so many gun cleaning kits and brought a specific one that isn't his favorite one. 100%.
Thank you. You're so nice to me.
Shut up and clean the gun.
Fucking hell.
No, okay. Look, use that. Okay, and you see the corner where it curls round?
Yes.
That's the most. Clean that first.
You know what I'm doing?
You need to see the sheen. This is a polymer setup. That's where all the wear goes. You're holding it backwards. Turn it. Okay.
Thank you. I shall see to clean it
Quite
in the way
well.
that she knows how to
Yeah.
clean it very thoroughly with all the pins and sprockets and whatever else goes in a gun.
Would you also like to put it back together?
Yeah.
So as you watch, and occasionally like helicopter gun cleaner, I don't know what that would be called.
Backseat cleaning.
Backseat cleaning.
Gunsplaining.
You
I get it all put back together. Look,
yeah,
there.
you get it all popped back together pretty much fine. And then as you kind of like standing there looking at, like, she's done a good job, Colton.
Yeah.
You hear a on the door.
Who is it?
It's Romy.
Start
Right.
wrapping up the gun in the gun cleaning kit and just close it on the workbench.
Do you mind if I come in?
Yeah, go for it.
He just kind of like slides the door open and pops his head in and says, "Hey, Astrid. Oh, hello, Colton.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to intrude. The captain was worried that you might have some type of stomach bug. If you like, I can whip up a kind of herbal brew for you to help out with that."
I didn't realise going to the bathroom once constituted as having a stomach bug, but I appreciate his concern.
So you're feeling all right?
I'm fine.
Okay. Sorry, I had to check in.
Alright, it's all good. Appreciate it though.
Okay. So yeah, sorry about that. And like slowly closes the door, and then you hear this kind of like of like feet like storming off.
Christ.
What's that about?
Captain at this on me with the poly when I was coming back.
He saw you with the poly.
He didn't see me with the. I mean, obviously I had the poly on me, but he didn't see the poly. But he's just like, "Oh, I thought you were in the engine room." I was like, "I wasn't in the engine room. I was just going to the bathroom." He was like, "Well, you're right. Why did you go to the bathroom?" So I just go to the bathroom, and he was like, "Well, it's because Colton cooked that last night, and that's why."
You finished. So he didn't see you with the poly. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, you need to conceal carry that. Stall this. I throw the it's a drop safety, so it's still not a safety, but if you accidentally drop it, it won't go off.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Okay, you need to cut the spring down. Let's
I've
bring
done it before.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like you've done it before because you've done a terrible job. She hasn't.
No.
She's just not done a military job.
Yeah.
Just 2 millimeters of the just 2. Okay,
I've done this enough times before. I don't need you to micromanage. I don't need you to babysit me. I know you think you need to.
babysit you. I just don't want that going off near me.
It's not gonna go after you.
Okay, because you know how fucking dangerous that is.
Yeah, I know, and that's why I made sure it was a fucking loaded before I brought it down here.
Right. Okay. Good.
Astrid,
Yes.
how frustrated are you with Coulter right now?
Barry's being incredibly patronizing.
Just as a curiosity, would Astrid like do the equivalent of like it's time to move on now? You know, like this whole teaching session and conversation is over. Please move on.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So Colton, while you're still talking, Astrid turns around and the music starts to bang as she turns up the music and puts her goggles down.
Back to work.
And then just gets back to work on the engine.
Okay, bye!
And then I'll leave. After I've given her one of those looks. You know the looks of the old people gave the
It's a
young
fruity
people.
old person look. Yeah. And you walk out the engine room, the door closes, and you go back to work as well. And yeah, we'll fade out on a very grumpy looking. Does Calder want to go and, because I know you put up a little custom punching bag. Would this be a moment of like, I'm gonna go and give it a couple of strikes, work off some stress?
No.
No. Okay.
This isn't one of those moments. But it is good to de-stress with that.
Yeah. So, we are going to shift a little bit to the next day. It is everyone's kind of gone through their everyday, like checking on things. A lot of space travel is kind of finding stuff to do, especially when nothing's going wrong. So for the majority of you, it's maintaining what you've already done and then spending some of your free time doing what you're doing. For Corinne today, it's probably worrying because she's very aware that she has to cook. So, in the evening, a bit before it's time for dinner, Corinne, you walk up to the kitchen, where you see a slightly fidgety Romy, kind of like, just moving around the kitchen and making sure everything is, I guess, going okay. And he looks up and says, Corinne, you're, cooking tonight, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get out of your way and let you get to it. If you need anything, just shout, and I'll be. But you know, everyone has to do a dinner. So I'm looking forward to whatever you make for us.
Right. Okay. As he walks out, she's just gonna like look around and go, "Oh God, this is gonna be so bad." Okay. There's a freezer. Maybe there's something in the freezer. So she goes over to the freezer and like opens the door, and she sees MREs like packed away. So
there's a couple, yeah.
Yeah, so she totally goes for those, the vacuum sealed rations. One of them is labeled protein bar, and she's like, I mean, I could work with this, but they might have a problem with it. What else is in here? And she's like
going through
leafing through them. Yeah, there's some energy gels, a biscuit. One biscuit's probably not going to do anything. Why is this even in here? Ooh, meatballs and pasta. That's kind of like what we had last week. This is perfect. Okay, so she takes it out.
Yeah.
And like just plops it on the table to defrost. Just give it a minute. She does turn it over and read the instructions.
Okay.
And they say to
essentially say open. You know, there's all the kind of like general stuff, and then for the meatballs and pasta, it's like heat for 2 minutes.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this out for a second. Should I do anything else? And she like looks around the kitchen. She's just like,
there's so much like things about there in drawers and stuff. Like it's all very confusing.
Yeah,
The
she's like immediately overwhelmed by just the wealth of things. She does spot that there are some tomatoes in like the regular fridge.
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh, tomatoes kind of go with meatballs and pasta, right? Maybe I could just throw some of these in.
Oh god, is she just throwing them in, like, so you can heat them up in essentially what is like a microwave type appliance. I assume that's her plan?
Yes, she basically she puts everything together in a bowl. Like she puts the MRE. She does follow the instructions because she's good at that. So she follows the instructions for the MRE to heat it up.
Okay.
And then she literally just takes like a bunch of the tomatoes and is like, I guess I should probably cut these up. Oh god. Okay. So she just puts them down on the counter and like cuts them into 4 pieces because that just makes sense to her, and just throws them in with the meatballs and pasta like on top. And then she's
you're
like,
not good at cutting them up, just FYI.
no, it's terrible. They're all over. It's a horrible mess.
In
There's like
general,
juices everywhere.
In general, with something you know what you're doing, you are quite dexterous and quite, competent. When it comes to cutting up vegetables, no idea. Are you just cutting up
She uses the wrong knife.
Yeah.
It's not a knife with like a serrated edge, so it's like
bread
actually
knife.
Yeah, it's like a butter knife. It's like super dull. So when she tries to slice the tomato, it just like it does that thing where it doesn't actually slice. Yeah, it just splats, and she's like, "This is good enough. It's fine." And she just
like,
throws it in there.
So it's like this big kind of like porcelain bowl filled with spaghetti, meatballs,
and really badly cut up
tomatoes. And are they like sliced when you can, or?
There are. Well, okay, so like most of them didn't really get cut, right? So they're like smushed, and the stuff came out the sides, and she was like, "Oh God," and just like picked it up and threw it in there. Okay. So there's like pieces of the tomato basically all over the place. Okay. She's like, maybe I should, but like the skins are kind of whole, like when the stuff inside.
Yeah.
I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this, but
no, you're good.
Yeah, so the tomato splat is just kind of everywhere, and then there's like skins of tomato with no splat inside, and it's terrible. And she's like, maybe I should mix this up. So then she just tries to hide the fact that it's like
just kind of like gets a wooden spoon and swims it all around in the bowl together.
Exactly.
And then
she tries to clean up and makes a little bit more of a mess because it kind of just spreads, but eventually she gets it cleaned up and everything is cooled at that point. And she's like,
you do also take a moment to administer to yourself. Essentially, we'll get there when we get there. But you put it in the microwave or the equivalent of, and fire it for the designated amount of time.
Yeah, 2 minutes, right? So
okay.
Right.
So, 2 minutes, and then ding, and you, like, she'd know enough not to go in barehanded with this, right? Like, she, okay, like, cool.
Yeah, she's not actually 5 years old, although sometimes she acts like she is. But yeah, she would grab like a pot holder and pull the pot out and put it on the counter, and then take the wooden spoon and like mix it some more.
Yeah, just kind of like please mesh together.
Yeah, like, oh God, this is gonna be so bad. They're gonna hate me.
Kareen, I can tell you this: the last time you saw food like this was when you were at university.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there was So
the last time she fended for herself.
Well, basically, so the one of the times that she flew, well, you wouldn't know this.
Yeah.
Anyway, it has happened before on flights, like solo flights, but it was so long ago. And this is fine. Like for her, for herself, she could work with this. It's not a big deal. She's not that picky.
I'm gonna throw you, like, just because, if you want, Kareen would probably remember the conversation with Nomi and remember that Basil goes on food.
Oh yeah, but that Basil was tiny.
I think there is some Basil in the storage, right?
Oh my god. Okay, so Kareen thinks she's a genius because she sees this and she's like, oh my god, this is perfect. Because she was kind of despairing because she knew that, like, for her this would be enough because she's just not, like, as long as there's coffee, she's more than content. That's all she really needs in life, and then the food is just, you know, whatever. But she remembers Nomi saying that, so she's like, I am a genius, this is gonna make this good. Okay, so then she takes the basil, and are there any instructions?
No.
Okay, yeah, so she just like takes
it,
it,
like see-through pack of basil.
Yeah, so she just takes it, and she has no idea how much to use.
Right.
She just like dumps like half the pack.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Her only frame of reference is coffee.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, the more the better. She doesn't want to use all of it in case they like
30
it.
grams of basil.
is she that, like, wooden spoon?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. 'Cause she's like, this looks kind of weird. Let me just mash it up some more, like really intensely.
So you then step back and look at what you've done.
I think this will be just fine.
Yeah.
It looks
The
edible.
fucking music drop.
Yeah. You want to call the crew in for?
Yes. Yes.
So you could go to the intercom essentially and just do a shipwide shout.
Dinner's ready, all.
There you go.
Yeah, and then she just like gets out some bowls and puts everything out. That she can do. She knows how to do that. Although it takes her a minute to like find everything, and the thing is kind of steaming and basiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Everyone comes in. And like, you know, you've got like kind of the lid on the top of the of the contraption. I can't even call it a creation. And everyone comes in and sits down and, you know, is kind of like ready to eat. And the captain and Roby. Roby looks a little bit like confused because you started about 5 minutes ago. Maybe like 10, maybe 10.
Yeah, maybe 10, but that's definitely it. Yeah. So this is meatballs and pasta with some tomatoes and basil. Enjoy.
And like you reach over and you know, like pick up the thing. Just FYI, there are a few like wrapped bandages around Kareen's hands. You cut yourself a couple, which is what you were seeing too. Like you would have cut yourself during the tomato debacle.
Yes,
On
definitely.
a butter knife.
Yeah.
This gets
The
better.
tomato debacle. Episode name.
Yeah.
Demarcle.
So you would all have noticed that, and I would say, Colton, Romy catches your eye in a kind of like significant way, kind of like, and just reaches out and like scoops up a whole load of this kind of like steam. It's hot, so that has that going for it, and like dumps a squelch of what did you call it? Sorry, it was spaghetti and meatballs.
And meatballs,
tomato.
yeah, pasta and meatballs with tomatoes and
And
basil.
basil.
It's just the incident now.
Yes.
He squelches a couple of spoonfuls of the incident onto his plate, and immediately sets it down and starts like shoveling it into his mouth in kind of like a Kareen, this is lovely.
Oh, really? Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it must taste better than it looks. I will get some incident.
Okay. And the captain as well, like, starts going.
Kareen will also put some in a bowl for herself.
Yeah.
And start eating it. And as she puts it in her mouth, she's like,
So let me describe this bowl for everyone as you're tasting it. There are parts that are like boiling hot and parts that are completely freezing cold. Like there's random molten bits of tomato skin that like burn your tongue. There's no flavoring to it at all because it is essentially like a vacuum packed meal.
Just
Overwhelmed
It's
with
just
basil.
basil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the basil is attacking your brain and getting stuck in your teeth and like everywhere.
yeah, Kareen's eyes start tearing, but she's like just eating it slowly because she doesn't want to admit that even for her it's kind of bad.
I think Nomi has been washing her hands fastidiously as
Yeah.
normal, but for a little bit longer because she can smell this and she
Yeah.
knows what she's about to experience. And she doesn't want to.
Actually, Romy, I think you're right. I think I do have a bit of that stomach, but I think I'm gonna go lie down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Sorry,
Yeah.
give me yours, I'll finish it off.
I
He,
hope
like-
you
he,
feel
like,
better.
Piles your
Yeah.
food onto his plate and keeps shoveling. The captain is being completely silent the entire time and is like poking his food with his fork. Is just like he's hoping that it will just disappear if he keeps poking it, I think.
Astrid's gone into her room, which is right next door to the kitchen, and you can just hear like the faint sounds of like a wrapper rustling. She gets out a piece of chocolate.
What
I hope she's feeling okay.
I'm sure.
what do you call this?
Incidental tomato.
I wouldn't call the tomato incidental, but
I certainly wouldn't call the basil incidental.
Oh, Nomi said it was good to eat.
Yeah.
But
Free-
this is
free
not
basil-
fresh.
the
I'm sure
basil
hers
is-
will be much better when it's fresh.
3 pairs of eyes instantly lock onto Nomi as a kind of like, oh, so this is your fault?
And it's the moment she sits down with her bowl and takes a mouthful and just goes, that is dreadful.
Oh, thank God, this is the worst thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm the worst cook. I don't know how to cook. I'm so sorry. I'm
It's
sure her
alright.
fresh basil will be much better. I'm so sorry.
It's alright, Kareem.
Oh, I'm just glad I don't have to eat it. I'm sorry.
Why would you do this?
No, Nomi, it's fine.
Okay, Astrid retching in the other room.
For now, your dinner nights will be me cooking and you learning from me, okay?
Okay, that works.
First lesson, when to stop adding basil to a plate.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's like
A
6 or
cheese or
7.
lamb.
Too much?
Yeah, it's
Too
like
much?
6 or 7 handfuls less than this, but
Oh.
we'll get there.
Oh, so like a little goes a long way. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So, for tonight, if anyone wants to, finish off, I'm gonna have another helping. Thank you very much. Kareem. Captain,
Please.
finish your food. And there are some, dry food that you can have, and I'll whip something else up nice for us tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
It's no problem.
You guys, I'll learn. I've never been a good cook. The last time I was on a ship, my friend made most of the meals. Anyway, I'll learn. I'm sorry.
And the captain's like, I'm gonna go and finish this in my, and Roby's like, no, you stay there and you finish your food. He
Yeah.
kind of deflates a bit.
No,
and then
Nomi will eat it
yeah, and just starts.
regardless of the fact she said it's shit.
Just starts
I'm immediately gonna put my spoon down and start smoking a cigar. If it helps, I've been worse.
Oh. Yeah, actually. Thanks.
We were
Flashback to being in trenches,
Yeah.
like just besieged with like gunfire and just mud throwing everywhere. Just like, you know,
the
you're-
mud and blood getting in
just
your mouth.
Everything is just over there, and you gotta eat. There's like,
You
what are you
sat there,
gonna
it's
do?
like, I've seen worse.
yeah,
Flashback.
the captain looks up at Korean and says, "No, it's true. I was once trapped on a ship that had lost power for a good 3 weeks, and you know we had to scrape mold off our food. And honestly, I'd prefer to eat this."
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you know,
Good to know.
there's
I'm
always-
not going to though. No offense.
No, I'm so sorry. Honestly, I am good at being a pilot. I am very not good at cooking. That's why I was never the cook on any of my previous flights.
You are very good at cooking, at flying, piloting.
Yeah.
I've already learned a lot from you, so you know, if I tried to pilot the ship, I very much may make an incidental tomato.
I would.
What was
I
that
would
word again,
never-
Sheepy?
Tomato.
I would never make an incidental tomato while flying the ship, right? Like, well, yeah.
No.
Anyway,
Are there protein bars in the cupboard?
I almost just gave you guys those.
Oh, I wish you did. I mean, oh no, yeah.
Next time, I'll know, but I'll try to learn. I'll definitely try to learn. I'm good at learning new things. This is just one of those things that I never really had to learn.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Romy's a very good cook, and if you spend a little time seeing what he does, I'm sure we all look forward, don't we, to eating another one of your meals.
Yeah.
Maybe in a month or two.
2 months, 3.
Okay.
3?
In the
3 months,
meantime,
maybe.
if anybody has leftovers, please leave them in a pot on the table so I can sift through the ingredients.
You get an entire bowl's worth.
Is that some sort of food autopsy?
In this case, yes.
Are you gonna feed that to the plants? I'm afraid it might make them sick. You think it'll be okay?
A valid
them.
concern. But plants are less intolerant of these flavors than humans.
Okay. Well, here you go. I'm happy that I could at least feed them. That's good, right?
It's something. And I think we'll fade away on everyone kind of like getting up and going off their own thing. Roby's still there, like shoveling the rest of his plate into his mouth. And I imagine. Okay, so
I've gone to take a swig of some single malt to try and get the
Yeah.
taste out of my mouth.
yeah, everyone kind of splits off to go isolate for a moment so that they can be rude about the food by themselves and kind of like wash their mouths out and things like
Walk
that.
past Acid Room and she's still heaving.
Kareen would help Nomi like gather it and just be like, do you want me to take this up to the garden for you?
Motion for her to come
Yeah.
back into the garden and show her where one of the bins she set up is a compost bin now, so all the stuff that isn't the meat or the spaghetti goes in there, and the other one goes in a different vat for rotting down.
Cool. This is very impressive. I'm so sorry about the dinner. super glad there's a place to put this stuff. That might be somewhat helpful. Okay.
I wouldn't be too hardened. I can recycle urine and feces as well.
Oh. Good to know.
Oh, fuck.
And then Kareen turns around and walks away, just going, oh God, that was even worse than I thought it was going to be.
Okay. So, we're gonna progress time in a moment. I just want to take a moment to appreciate that scene. You were all brilliant. Thank you very much.
It's very hard not to break in that situation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was useless.
No, Tess, you nailed that. That was beautiful.
Bless Nomi for actually saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As if she was ever going to do anything else.
it was perfect.
So, we will... where are we? There we go.
That's going to be our on-ship word for a fuck-up now, isn't it? An incidental tomato.
Tomato.
Oh God.
Been an incidental tomato in the engine room.
Oh
Oh no.
Every time someone says that, Kareen is just gonna like internally cringe a little bit, but also laugh because these people didn't just completely hate on her, which was actually really nice.
Yeah. So we're going to pass some time. Not much of note happens. Kareen, you get occasional proximity alerts. They turn out to be either like an odd asteroid or just a ship far from the distance going in the opposite direction. Nothing of note. As I said, the traffic out towards Annie is not that often. Colton, essentially you're just maintaining the power as best you can and as efficiently as you can. It doesn't require a whole load of your attention, but
Yeah, I'm cleaning a different gun.
okay. And Astrid, you kind of like you work with Colton when you have to eject the irradium rods and put a new one in. It's a very quick, like 5-minute job. It's designed to be quick and easy, so you can just like pull one out, shove one in. So you've gone through a couple now, as we're nearing Talend. Nomi, your farm's coming along nicely. The rot is rotting and composting very decently. There's been a couple of moments when the door's been like left open by someone, probably the captain, like coming in and forgetting to keep things locked up. It's a little bit strong, the smell in the farm, so that has occasionally wafted out. Aside from that, everyone's doing their jobs really well. The ship is running decently, especially considering the problems found with it. Colton, your bodge job is still holding up. When we get to the point when there is a notification on the sensors that there is a large body of mass that's come into proximity, and you see Talend kind of appearing in front of you as you're heading towards it. At this point, you radio into Astrid and you switch from like a proper hard burn to a more soft burn. Will take you in without worrying about basically being dragged by the gravity actually into the planet. And you get into orbit following the navigation directions you have from the company. Voltorm Expanded, I believe, is the company you're working for currently. And you get into orbit, travel around until you go above the area you need to land, and just take it in. A little bit of turbulence on entry. I don't think anyone would be particularly worried about that. The ship holds together decently enough, and just a little bit of shaking as you enter the atmosphere.
I think right before I would just like before we actually start landing.
Yeah.
I just
Announce. We're about to. Oh,
we're about to land, everyone. Sorry about that. Wrong fact.
Roger that.
It's fine.
And yeah, then there might be just a little bit of turbulence. Just don't worry about it. And then
GP,
Yeah.
for landing a ship, do we need to strap in, or are there inertial dampeners type?
There are, yeah, it's essentially all the things needed to make it just a bit, it's just a bit kind of shaky at worst.
Kind of like a plane landing. It's not fully smooth, but it's okay.
Oh, in that case, you'd just hear from Nomi in the farm. Wait. She's like just putting things on all the rubbish that she spent hours sorting out into different piles.
Is there a problem?
problem?
Somebody was just shouting.
Oh, continue. Sorry, I can't really delay it once I've started, but I'll try to make it as smooth as possible.
No response.
I've been airdropped onto planets. Like, you could drop me in like from 30 feet with nothing. They'd be like, smooth landing. My spine is compacted. It's pretty good.
I think I would try my best to especially since Nomi said something to make it as smooth as possible. But I mean, it's a landing, so
Yeah.
GP, can we have a landing roll?
Yeah,
sure.
I'm sorry.
No, that's a decent point. If you're trying to make it as smooth as possible,
Yeah.
that will be a piloting with a boon.
Okay. Boom. Okay. Can't tell if I'm actually. Hold on.
It is on boon, so you should.
It
roll
is
the boon.
okay.
We believe in you, Green.
we don't.
You've tasted your cooking.
She has to be
No
good at something.
modifiers, right?
That's true.
No modifiers, yeah. Damn. It's a good roll.
Yay.
And don't forget to switch off boon back to normal. Honestly, it's not perfect. There's a little bit of rattling, a little bit of, there's probably a fork on a table somewhere that just jitters off the edge. But aside from that, you can barely tell you're going through the atmosphere. The angle you hit is really great, and as you go down and head towards the landing pad, you're not getting any clearance to land. You're not actually getting any response from the outpost, but it is included in the notes that it's a very busy mining outpost. It's very likely that you won't get clearance, so just go ahead and land anyway. You kind of there's a heavy kind of set of clouds, and you kind of break through them into just a fairly heavy snowstorm.
Is it like smog clouds or?
No, it's snow clouds. Well, precipitation clouds. Yeah.
I think as she's landing, she's so focused. I'd be so focused on just landing smoothly, and I wouldn't even pay attention. But as we actually settle down, I'd look up and be like, "Oh, it's snowing." Pretty.
And where you're landing is essentially at the foot of this big kind of essentially big compound at the foot of a mountain with these big kind of gates that are kind of crushed together. You can't see much, but you can see that much. There are some lights on and everything. It is daytime, so. And you touch down right in the center of the kind of landing pad that's designated there for deliveries and whatnot.
I think I'd immediately just announce, "We've landed, so, Captain, just let us know what you'd like us to do."
Okay, I think, could everyone meet us down in the
cargo bay, and we'll start looking to meet up with whoever's going to take this stuff off our hands.
Aye.
Okay.
I would just kind of secure the landing gear and do everything that I need to do, kind of like post-flight checklist, and then head down there.
Astrid's gonna run to the cargo bay because she said it's snowing.
Okay. Everyone else heading down cargo bay way.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Not because it's snowing though.
Yeah. No, noted.
Just because that's what we were told to do.
I think Kareen would actually stop by her cabin real quick just to grab like a slightly heavier jacket because she gets cold easy.
So the captain, once you're all gathered, and obviously Romy's there as well, looks around and says, "Okay, so, no one's come out to meet us. I guess we're gonna have to go knock on the door. Last time when we went out into the ship, it was myself and Colton and Astrid for engineering reasons. Obviously, we don't need vac suits or anything like that. So, if anyone would like to go and make contact, that would be great. I'm going to just get all the crates and everything organized. We'll stay in radio contact. You can radio the ship. Kareen, would you be okay with maintaining contact with anyone going out there?
Sure.
Okay,
I'll go.
I'll go.
Romy, would you go with them? And Romy nods and, of course, Captain.
Kareen immediately turns around and goes back to the bridge. She's like, I'll be on the bridge, and grabs some coffee on the way. And then just gets on comms and she's like,
Just radio in if you guys need anything. I'll patch you through.
GP, would there be any kind of trading post or anything at this place?
So this is a Voltorm expanded mining facility. There might be people willing to trade with you. There wouldn't be any official trading things.
Know me. You might want to come.
As you wish.
Conversation done.
All right. So, let's open it up and see what we've got. And you head to the side of the cargo bay. The doors open. Like there's kind of like a whip of wind as it opens, with like a kind of snow, just bits of snow traveling through. Right in front of you, a good like minute walk essentially, is like there's lights leading to these big, almost like blast doors, I guess, which is very clearly the entrance to the complex. And Romy starts walking off towards it.
Astrid immediately reached down into the snow, makes a snowball. Romy!
Oh, okay, this may be a roll.
Oh, yes!
Let's have a look at Astrid and see what it would be.
This is the kind of stuff we roll for on this show, by the way.
Athletics, please.
Tomatoes and snowballs.
Make sure you've done the switch so you don't get a boon.
Athletics.
Go on, get him right in the face. Oh.
Ah, shit.
It kind of like loops high, and it looks like it's going, but you didn't account for the wind, so it falls just like it falls off quite quickly and falls short of him.
Oh. Did he realize that I threw it at him, or?
No, it's quite loud, and I don't think he even heard you like shouting.
Ah.
So everyone heading with Romy up to the gates or doors?
I would like to roughly calculate the trajectory that you would need for artillery to go over there, and then just carry on walking.
Noted.
I would like to watch what Astrid did, and this is completely foreign to me. Just like snow is not something she's really
I don't think Nomi's
encountered.
really encountered snow.
No.
No.
So she's kind of watching with fascination that she's just picked this substance off the ground, and she's obviously like heard about it, but she's never seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
So she
absolutely
starts
throwing one
doing it
towards Naomi
herself.
then.
Hmm?
What you doing, Naomi?
How far away is he? No, short range bad. Yes.
Any range
And she
fun, and I'll throw it at Naomi.
Okay. Please roll athletics with a boon this time
freaking
because you are close.
Snowball fight is
rude.
Oh!
Right in the face.
Yeah. Where was Astrid aiming? Because wherever she aims is where it hits.
Right in the face.
Yeah, it just like a thwomp and a straight in the face.
Oh yeah, don't eat that stuff, especially if it's yellow.
So, as
White.
Yeah, that's good. If it's yellow, really don't eat that stuff.
as storyteller and GM and all those other things, I am compelled to ask: do we need to roll initiative here?
She's not going to fire back. There's no quarrel. What she wants to do is see if she can hit Romy, because he's an unaware target, and that's much more fun.
Okay. I would say at this point, Romy's probably Romy's pushed on, and
I have walked off that direction.
Oh,
while you
then
guys
it's
have
Colton.
stopped.
Yeah.
I thought it might fucking be.
Colton is a possibility. Athletics,
Mm-hmm.
it won't be a bane, but it's got to be a long shot.
Okay, you can see her sort of packing this together like she'd seen Astrid do, but she's not used to it. So she's doing like
Very
packing
cool.
it together a bit too much. You know, when you make those Uber
the ice
like
ones, yeah.
too much. Okay, so this is boon or bane or normal.
Normal, yeah.
So just regular athletics, right?
Regular athletics.
Okay. 9.
Yeah, I think
Not bad.
I think essentially
Hit him on the ass.
the wind takes all the gumption out of it, so it literally just it hits him, but it also just kind of like it's like someone taps him on the back vaguely. It's not really a clean hit.
Astrid, grow up. I
It
carry on
wasn't
walking.
me. It was Naomi. Right.
Are you two...
There is no way Naomi just threw a snowball. There's no way.
And
That
also
wasn't me.
also Roby turns around and says, "Are you guys coming?"
Yeah.
Wasn't me. It was... Oh.
I would say given the spacing of everyone, most likely you see this at about the same time as Romy does, and it's the thing that causes him to pause for a moment. Off to the left, there's multiple grave markers just to the side of where the doors are. At a guess, there's probably like 10 or so.
Industrial accident.
Maybe. It's the type of place where it would happen a lot.
And they usually have a place to put them.
I mean, out this far, it's quite often easier to dig a grave than it is to transport them back.
Sad.
And he pulls out his big revolver. It's like this big chunky kind of revolver, and says, "Best to be cautious though. We'll knock on the door, and if no one answers, then we'll start to worry."
I rack the slide of my equally ridiculously sized gun.
Yeah, and he also turns around and says, "Astrid, Naomi, hang back a bit."
Right. Astrid will have a poly, but it's going to be tucked away, like, under a shirt, under a jacket.
It's got a drop safety now.
And Colton and Romy move up to the. Essentially, there's like a worker's entrance and like a vehicle entrance. The vehicle entrance is the big doors that look like they kind of automated pull apart, and then there's like a kind of smaller person entrance where it's got like a little keypad and a swipey thing. And
I assume the way he moves isn't like he's been trained to sweep and clear.
No.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna take his lead, but I'm still gonna be doing like I do.
And he moves up to the keypad and hits like the intercom and says, "Hello, this is delivery. We just landed outside. And like, let's go." And there's silence.
I'm scanning the periphery.
He like hits it again. "Hello? Is anyone there?" Pulls it off.
Do we see anything if we look around?
Just the graves and like a few kind of like small metallic bunker type things. And the landing pad in the ship.
I'm gonna get on the radio to the ship.
Yeah.
Bridge.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
We're not getting a response yet. You got anything on the radio?
Huh. Let me try again, and
I would ping again.
Nothing.
I'm not getting anything either. I can scan for signs of life. I'll do that.
Don't dig themselves.
So I would scan for signs of life, and I mean, I'm assuming the four of them would show up.
Yeah. It's also. It's hard to do on a facility like that. Even on a ship, there's interference. Possibly, it looks dead. And in terms of like the power's still on and running. There's sections of it that are heated, sections that aren't, from what you can see. And there's like some blippy possible life, but it's hard to tell.
So there's a lot of interference, and the power's still on, but I'm not seeing any life signs besides you guys, but I might just not see that. We're limited in what we can see down here.
Okay. Yeah.
Kareen, can you let the captain know that we
Will
are
do.
going to go in and see what's going on there? But just prepare for a quick takeoff if necessary.
Oh, okay, will do.
Alright. Bridge.
Yeah?
Let the captain know if he needs to follow us. Just have a quick look in locker 47B.
47B, got it.
But only if he needs to follow us.
Okay.
Alright. They gave us this key card to get in, if it was busy or no one was answering or whatever, so he just like swipes the key card, bleep, goes green, and the door kind of does that electric like grrr, and unlocks. He puts his hand on the handle, kind of like looks hesitantly at Nomi and Astrid, who I assume are still hanging back a little bit.
That was the last instruction she was given.
She would have maybe tried to get a little bit closer, but not too far.
Looks back at you both and says, "You can come in, but be ready to run." And opens the door.
Nomi will walk towards it, but you can see her feet are like, and the look on her face, like, I've never walked on this before and I don't know what it's going to do, so it's not elegant.
Astrid's probably like got her hand underneath her jacket, but not quite on the gun just yet.
So you walk in. As you walk in, the lights are on. There's like a big open hangar area with lots of different bits of machinery. Some of them are big drills, some of them are kind of like haulers and carriers and you know, just a amazing amount of machinery. And further at the end is what essentially looks like a slow slope dug out of the mountain that goes down. This is obviously where they get their machines and they drill down looking for minerals and ores and that type of thing.
Can we hear any? Sorry.
Just finish off. To the right is a kind of like elevated platform that leads to a door. To the left is kind of like a small office type area, like glass windows and completely empty, lights still on, and like a kind of standard office door, you know, nothing kind of security intense. And Romy looks around and says, "What do you think?"
Can I hear any machinery, any mining, any drilling, anything like that?
It is quiet.
And I would expect to hear that at a fucking refinery or whatever, yeah. I like it. Should be some nice.
Are there any like tools or like pipes or just like anything like laid around?
No.
No.
Everything is kind of parked up and quite neat and
Everything's put away.
yeah, clean.
So it looks like they stopped for the day and then didn't come back.
It's what you'd expect it to look like if they stopped and like banked everything. And Romy looks at you, Colton, and says, "Office."
Yeah, security.
So you walk over to the office?
Yeah, I will let him take the lead because he's not trained, so I don't know what he's going to do. I need to see what he's going to do before I react.
So he kind of like, still with his gun, like pointed down at the ground, like kind of moving quietly, moves up to the door, tries the handle, it turns, it opens, and then he walks into the office. It's all really neat and kind of like squared away. The kind of the console terminal is on and is just kind of like, you know, dormant, as it were. And then he like goes back to the door and looks out and says, "Is anyone good with consoles? It's never been my thing."
I am.
Astrid? Alright,
Yeah.
could you take a look on this thing, see if there's anything we can... Colton. Could you just cover the...
I'll post up.
Yeah.
Now I'll walk out just outside the room a bit, and then I'll just cover, make sure that nothing can come in, or I'd know if it was about to come in, kind of deal.
Nomi, do you know how to use one of these? And he just like holds up his revolver, like handle out.
She'll examine it. Yes, I believe so.
Just
And tentatively take it.
just help Colton. He'll keep you safe if anything happens.
All right.
All right.
What kind of weapon has Colton got?
It's the big, like, magnum-sized revolver.
Okay.
Colton.
Oh, sorry, Colton, not Romy.
Yeah.
It's pretty oversized. It's called the Rhino.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
Of course it is.
That's a real gun name, by the way.
Mhm. Of course it is. And it's a men's facial cleanser called Bulldog.
It's actually really good.
The same issue.
It makes my skin feel amazing.
Toxic marketing. Right. So she'll take a look at the way that Colton is holding this gun, and she'll try and emulate it as best she can.
Oh yeah, it's easy enough.
Is it? Wait, you've got the Magnum.
The Magnum, yeah.
Okay, I just watch you holding it. Is she holding it safely?
She's holding
I'm
it.
holding
How's your trigger discipline?
I'm doing exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I'm copying it.
I'll check the safeties off. It's Romy's. It's probably always off.
It's actually always on. Well, it's on when you look at it.
Okay. I point at the safety. Push this down before you shoot. Keep it on for now. Safety.
Safety.
Or you don't have to shoot.
Astrid. Jumping on the console?
Yeah, Ash is not like the best when it comes to consoles and stuff, but
Decent.
hopefully just gonna rely on my jack of all trades to get me through it.
Oh no, believe me, you're better than Romy, so it's fine.
All right. Okay.
So you kind of jump on, boot it, like, you don't have to boot it up, it's on, it's just kind of dormant. So it kind of flickers on and takes you immediately to essentially what is the desktop. It looks like a work computer. A lot of it is like files and storage and all that type of thing. You kind of give it a cursory glance. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
What I would do is I'd bring up whatever the type of file browser is and look at most recent documents to see what's the last thing that's been accessed on this computer.
Okay. So there are a few things. The thing of there's like a few mining reports of like breaking into a new seam. Some of them are quite old. Like going back, and there's like a big gap between the most recent one, which is like maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago. And then there is like it goes back like half a year since before that one is the last time they found a vein. So you get the impression at the very least that they've been digging for a while without any finds. And the most recent one is is like, I'm assuming you want to have a look at it?
Yeah.
So it's essentially a big break where they found a seam of gold, like a big kind of ore vein of gold. And there's actually a report file attached to it, which is like a report sent out to Full Expanded on the incident, which you can open if you want to.
Yeah, I'll open it.
Okay. In that case, Romy says, "Wait, before you do that, Colton, Nomi.
Yep.
Just keep aware, but come back for a second. Can you, Astrid, can you patch this through so that the ship can hear this as well?"
Yeah, can I go for it?
Okay.
Astrid, did you bought us?
I hear you, Astrid.
Hiya, we're sat in office.
Have you found any people?
Not yet, and that's the reason why I guess we're kind of in here. We're trying to sort of figure out what's happening or has happened.
Let me get the captain to come down here real quick.
Yeah.
Captain?
Yes? Is everything alright? Have they figured out what's happened?
They're trying to do that now. They found an office and they're looking about. Would you want to come down to the bridge so we can listen?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
Cool. He's on his way, Astrid.
And then,
Cool.
Colton, Naomi, you kind of come back to the office so you can hear what's going on, and the captain jumps into the bridge, and then you hit play on the attachment.
Alright, I'm gonna play this file for you and I'm gonna patch it through so you hear what we hear.
Thanks.
This is the last transmission left on this device. Let's play.
And you hit play.
This is Lachlan Racine, foreman of the Voltorm Expanded Mining Outpost, Prestelatio, compiling supply request and status report as requested. Supplies are low, but not anywhere near critical as of sending this report. However, I do request immediate dispatch to avoid cutting it too close. Come on, Red. Do me a solid this time and send a company ship, hey? Not one of these freelancers. They always drag their heels on the delivery. Cheers. Additionally, requesting bonus pay as we have located another rich gold vein. While exploring shaft number 34, we broke out into a vast cavern, completely empty as far as can be determined, but with a beautiful corner of gold just waiting to be excavated. There were initial concerns the cavern was dug out or constructed on first glances, and the workers refused to enter it, but after exploring it, we came to the conclusion it was naturally formed. Estimating a big haul on this one, Red, so we'll send an official request for a hauler out here in a month or so, but get one per in for me in the meantime, will you? Once our bonus is in, we'll be ready to ship this out.
Okay.
You guys hear all that?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It could mean a couple things. I mean, they said they wanted a company ship, not some freelancer, but I think we're the freelancers. So, either they have run out of food, or we didn't get here quick enough, or someone else knows about this gold, and it went a bit nasty.
I really hope we don't have another instance of pirates.
It could
No.
even be the same pirates, couldn't it?
This place is too tidy for pirates.
It does have a cleaned away look of it.
I'll be right back.
Astrid, can you close the doors on that tunnel, mine shaft thing? I don't like having it open like that.
Cheapy, while this is happening, I'm gonna just have a quick look around to see if I see anything out of place, and if everything is just like, it looks like it's all been tidied up and put away. Nothing too hectic. I'm not like investigating around, but I just want to see if anything stands out to me.
Kind of once over, yeah.
Yeah.
While he's doing that, I think I would start running scans of space, like, nearby, to see if there's any ships or anything.
It's hard with the atmosphere. Generally, if you want to scan space, you need to be off planet.
In space.
You can do your best, but it'll only give you spotty reports. And but as far as you can tell from your scans, and incidentally, before the captain leaves, he's totally looking over your shoulder and trying to like absorb what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not interrupting you this time and like asking questions. You can't see anything out there. There's nothing in the immediate vicinity, at least.
I think I'd tell him that, just be like, I'm just scanning anyway in case I can find anything, but we'll definitely have a better idea once we're back in space.
Yeah, no, it's best to be cautious. Well, just in case this is all worrying over nothing, I'm gonna keep getting everything set up to deliver. But just keep in touch about what's going on, and
We'll do.
stay in touch with them.
Colton had mentioned in case you need to follow them to check his locker or 7B, but only if you need to follow them out there.
Right. I don't think I'm needed yet, but let me know if
I'll
I
let
am.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything comes up. Okay.
And Astrid, it's pretty simple. It's just activated via the console.
I'd do that.
You can also just, for the future and for the record, you can also open the big ones leading outside.
Okay.
So, I don't think it's something you want to do right now, but... So, Colton, as you're going through, the big kind of gates, like, activate and close towards the mine shaft. Basically, like closing off access to the mine shaft. You probably took a peek down there. It's just a slope that looks like it's kind of been dug out by a couple of big drills. It's dark down there. There's some lighting, but it's already enough, and the doors close. As you do your once-over as well during this whole going-ons, you don't see anything out of place at all. It all looks overly clean for a workplace.
Hello? I'm gonna make it back to the office. But this isn't right. Even though it's like office buildings, it's still a working mine.
Yeah. Astrid, could you please roll me I'm gonna say electronics, but it might not be. Yeah, could you please roll me an electronics?
A bit. Oh, should I go to the other one?
Okay. Damn! That's 2 6s. Max you can roll, even with a -1 on your roll. Yeah, there's actually an additional file that's a bit more recent that you managed to find. The reason why you didn't find it initially is because it was never read. It's another report submitted to this. It's basically submitted by the inside, by the living quarters. It's from, and it's labeled. Second. It is from the medic, whose name is Pyotr Galakov.
Okay.
It's another audio file.
Okay, yeah.
Green, is the captain there with you? We just found another file on a plate for you both.
He's not, but I can get him back up here. Or I guess I could pipe it through to him down in the hangar. Captain?
Yes.
They found another file. I'm just gonna pipe it through to you down there.
Okay.
Go ahead, Astrid.
Let's play.
Press play.
I don't understand. There's nothing wrong with them except that they're dead. They go to bed healthy and fine, and then when they don't report in for breakfast, we find them dead in their bunks. With the first few, I examined them. I found no foul play, and we buried them outside. But now, with so many dead, we just cut the power to their bunks and let the cold preserve them until they can be shipped out. Hopefully that'll be soon. Everyone left is acting bizarre, like sleepwalkers. They continue their jobs. They don't care or worry about their friends slowly dying around them. I don't know what's going on. I've explored every possibility, and it's not a disease, a sickness, or any type of foul play. There's nothing wrong with them except that they are dead. I want to blame the coven we found, but I think that's impossible. There's nothing in there but the ore we found. I do wonder. I've done it already, but I'll check the supply room one last time. There's so much in there, but I'll go for it all if I have to. There might be a clue in there. Regardless, send a request again for a medical team, just in case. But I doubt they'll be able to find anything I didn't.
Oh, I
That.
think we can mutually agree that don't want to go into that cavern then.
Yeah, please don't.
Agreed.
Kind of do a little bit.
He's already gone into the cavern.
Yeah, you stay there. I'm gone.
This is Colton reporting from cavern.
I'd
Astrid.
rather you didn't go on. Yeah?
You got any vac suits?
Well,
Back
could
on the
we
ship.
be certain to clean the vac suits, even if we don't even know what it is? Like, if the ship doesn't know what it is? I mean, we don't need to investigate further. If there are no people here...
We don't get paid.
Green, did you do a scan?
I did. I didn't find anything, though.
No signs of life?
No.
Question. Are you lying on purpose, or
What do you mean?
you did a
said-
scan and there was like indications, like spotty. It's hard to tell, but there were life indicators.
Oh, I thought you said that there weren't. I'm sorry.
That must have been me. So yeah, when you did the scan, it was like uncertain exactly how much, but there were some life signs.
Oh, okay.
You can just
The scan...
retcon.
Yeah. So the scan was not super clear. There could be life signs, but there's so much interference, it's hard to say.
Right. Okay. Keep the ship running and ready to take off.
Will do.
We'll see if we're gonna go any further or if we're gonna just come back to the ship. We'll contact you in a moment.
Okay.
Astrid, can you bring up a map?
Be able to.
Yeah. It's
You know, a map for here, or the building, or planet.
The building.
Building. Okay. See if they got a floor plan
Yeah.
layout or something.
This
on
is essentially like a blueprint layout of
Blueprint.
Blueprint.
Like a
it's a-
tomato.
It's a tomato, yeah. Incidental tomato
Yeah.
blueprint. Blah, blah.
Okay, she's looking for a supply room.
Yeah. Essentially, it's through that door on the other side of the hangar. If you go through there, you've got a hallway that takes you to a split. The split on the left takes you to like storerooms and generators and all the kind of like mumble jumble of a facility. And then the right split takes you towards the worker bunks, the kitchen, the living room, the kind of like common area. It's fairly simplistic, but yeah.
Can that thing tell if there's anyone here?
It's just a blueprint.
Talking to Astrid.
Oh, sorry.
Regarding to the computer she's using.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Can that thing tell if there's any people here?
Not unless they're wearing like active trackers and shit like that, but I thought they didn't do that anymore.
Could be on suits. Can check.
I can check. And she goes to check if there's any like live registered blips.
For this for this type of place, there's essentially no. It's not profitable enough to install like the high tech security. There's not even cameras here.
Yeah.
It's got a floor plan, but it's just a blueprint. It doesn't tell you the details on like the power and stuff like that. Most likely inside there's a console, which can run like the power and everything, but not here.
Oh, okay. No, this place really isn't as advanced to do stuff like that. There's nothing showing.
Then I think I should go take a look.
Not on your own.
Okay.
And I'll be safe.
I'll go.
Okay, someone...
She'll just walk towards the door. She is tired of people assuming that she can't look after herself.
Guess I'll stay with Romy then.
Colton. And he like holds out a key card. This should get you into the living quarters.
Okay. I'll stay on comms.
stay on comms. And if there's any sign, just be careful and jump back out.
Right. I take the safety off Nomi's gun.
So, what are you guys planning on doing?
I'm just gonna have a quick look around.
In a vac suit?
Yep.
Okay.
Nomi will throw him a sideways look like, interesting.
We won't go into the place. Let's go check out the store.
5% of nothing is, as you say, nothing.
Don't squeeze that trigger unless you have to.
As you wish.
Yeah, let's go check out the storage first, Sheepy.
Okay. The storage, like any way you go, will take you into the basically the like living room facility part of it. You essentially just have to swipe the door to unlock it, like the outside, and then you go down a corridor, and there's a left, there's a right. Left takes you towards the storage and the power and the, you know, there's no life support, but that type of.
There are sealable doors between all these areas, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That's a good point.
Sorry.
Astrid,
Yeah?
is there any way to keep track of these cards? They're opening doors. Is there any record of them?
I won't be able to, like, watch their journey all the way through. It would only be if I go look at each individual door and see which card is swiped in. I couldn't follow you like a tracker.
Maybe have a look, see if you can find if the last person to open the door in the room you are.
Additionally, just off the blueprints that you looked at, the only security access doors are the front one and the living, the, you know, like deeper in ones. Or like even the power generator room is not unlocked, but it doesn't have security swipe and etc.
Only about a quarter of the doors in this place actually work off cards. Most of them are just doors. There isn't one on this office door either. That's how we just walked in.
Copy.
I will continue to. I assume I'm leading Nomi around. How is she acting?
She will be following you, but she's like actively watching your stance and the way that you're walking and trying to emulate it, almost like a dancer learning new steps.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine she's making a pretty good go of it.
There's also
But she's also
probably-
looking around. She wants to see if there's anything growing on the walls of this thing that could be pumping out spores. She wants to be seeing if there's anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah. I'll note that going forward. I would also say, like, at a guess, Nomi probably is a little bit like a coiled panther. You know, that type of, like, you know, bunched up muscles ready to action.
Yeah, it's very, very much a kind of dancer's frame, and you can tell that there's a lot of power in a very small package.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, things you said on the internet and I regret it.
That's my new ringtone.
So essentially, you want to go through the swipe through, go down, and then head towards the supply room area. Yes.
Yeah, left into the storeroom.
Okay. Yeah, you open the door. Who's taking lead?
I will take lead.
Colton.
Okay.
Definitely.
Go through Nomi essentially as he's going through. You're like following his moves and like kind of, you know, essentially aping his actions.
Mm-hmm.
I move very deliberately.
Yeah.
You got that kind of
It's very precise.
SWAT team heel toe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You go around, you go through, the lights are on, everything's clean, there's nothing on the walls or anything along those lines. You get down towards the end of the corridor to the supply room, or the kind of storage room, which is like right at the end of the corridor.
Check the door.
It's unlocked.
Check behind me, make sure Nomi's... Oh, I haven't lost her. I don't think I have.
Yeah, she's still with you.
Yeah, and I will, I'll open the door.
Okay, door opens. The lights flicker on. Just activated by activation. And, yeah, you've got, quite a big area. It's kind of separated into different parts. But the thing that immediately catches your eye is the shine in the back left corner, which is essentially just like piles of like crated up what looks like gold.
Looks like the gold.
I think we should maybe give it a wide berth.
Oh, you think all that's got something to do with this? It's just gold.
Is it? Are you willing to bet your life on that?
I hesitate.
Yeah.
Huh. Good point.
Seemingly everyday substances often masquerade as other substances. Is there any way we can get a scan of it?
Oh, this is a storage room. Are there any hand scanners or anything in here?
Ooh, can we investigate the room?
Without going into it?
With our eyes?
Yeah, you can have a look around the room, yeah.
I'd like to roll my eyes in like I was throwing dice at a casino.
So, looking around, there doesn't really appear to be too much. Like this is a mining facility, so they've got a lot of diggers. They've even got like pickaxes, and things like that. So it's not really. It's not really an analysis, a scientific thing. It's dig crap up and send it off and get paid for it. I would say probably Colton, you'd have a little bit of knowledge about this, just because you know where you worked was corporate essentially.
Yeah.
These type of operations, these type of facilities, it's very much get as much natural resources as possible. Once you get the permit and you set up the outpost, people who work here generally get paid when they make like ore discoveries. You know, if you find some iron, boom, lovely. You get a little bonus. If you find something more precious, amazing. If you find like gemstones and stuff like that, beautiful, like big bonuses. So them finding gold or like a gold vein, like even just this much, there's, your guess would be there'd be more probably. It's a big bonus for them.
Right. So there's no analysis tools here. It's literally just shovels and picks and drills and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all mechanical, and spare parts and battery packs and that type of thing.
Okay, I'll get in the radio then.
Colton here. Think I found some of the gold they dug up.
Who are you hitting up? Romy?
I assume we've got a bit of an open, like, party meeting call thing. Got a group Discord that we're all chatting in. So I'll tap into that.
Have you gone in to look at it?
No, me. Advise caution.
Yeah. Keep that closed off for now, and just see if you can find anyone alive in there.
Okay.
We'll go from there.
Any updates?
None so far.
Okay.
Guess we're gonna carry on looking. And now Colton is just like, why is gold going to kill you?
You wanna carry on looking?
Yeah, as we're sort of moving around and sort of, I'm assuming we're obeying orders and closing this door.
Yeah, no, I close the door.
As,
It's not important
as it
right now,
closes, I'd like to think there's like this little moment of their eyes meeting and Nomi going, is it just me, or did he seem like he knew something?
Yes. You want to ask him?
No.
Neither. Now Colton's not only thinking about the gold, but why do they know things that they haven't told him?
Could I ask, just both of you, because you saw it and, you know, obviously it'll be on your minds a little bit, like, is the gold tempting at all to either of you? Is it kind of like a moment of like, fucking look at that gold?
That's money right there.
No.
But also, for Colton that is money right there, but he's got a job that he has to do first.
Yeah. It's like compartmentalized for later. Like I'm gonna appreciate you later, but I've got to finish this first. Yeah.
Well, it's not going anywhere. But that's definitely like, that's money. That is money.
Oh yeah. So, would you like to? I can tell you now, like as you go through like the generator room and everything, everything's shipshape. Everything looks fine. Everything's operating. There's nothing out of place. Having done that, would you then like to go around and go to the living quarters?
Okay, we're finishing up the sweep. We're gonna go through to the living quarters. There's nothing here.
Okay. You haven't touched anything, right?
Important. No.
Just make sure your vac suit gets fully disinfected.
Oh, yeah.
When she says you didn't touch anything, right, I'll tap Colton on the shoulder and point at the gun and be like,
I think she means like the gold or something.
right.
Okay.
You didn't touch anything other than that, right?
I touched your back.
Anything that belongs here.
No.
Okay.
Apart from the snow.
I think the snow will be fine.
So, you head out around the other bend, through into the quarters where you have the kitchen, you have the lounge. Essentially, you kind of have like left and right after the turn. You have kitchen, lounge, living room, kind of common area where they hang out when they're, and then all the way down is just bunk, you know, kind of all gathered up together there.
Just because I'm really aware that like he's made no secret of it, this gun in my hands is making him a little nervous.
Yeah.
I'm going to be keeping my eye out, and if I can see anything, any other kind of a weapon around here, like a knife in the kitchen or whatever, I'm going to be grabbing that.
So, as you go, I'm assuming you want to like at least peek into all of the rooms.
Oh, I'm gonna be looking, definitely.
Clearing 101.
The kitchen is spotless, pretty much like all, you know, everything shipshape and or planning.
Any tomato incidents?
No incidental tomatoes.
Any big fuck off knives? BFKs?
I mean, there's some kitchen knives and things like that for sure.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, okay.
Better? And she'll put the safety on and put it, like, obviously not holstered because she hasn't, but she's got enough, like,
she can
bits and bobs on her jacket to, like,
it's got like a belt,
faux holster it.
You can kind of like loop it through the belt.
Yeah. Better?
Yeah. Okay.
For a moment, it's terrifying.
Better?
No. To Colton, that's just like, oh, thank God she hasn't got a fucking gun in her hand.
When you look into the kind of dining room area, there is it's essentially like a couple of tables with food on it. There's like knives and forks put out, drinks with like liquids in, and you know, nothing complicated, just kind of like a chicken palm kind of, you know, meal out. Looks like it's enough for about 20, maybe 15 people.
That looked like someone set dinner to you. That's weird.
If you didn't think you were going to die, why would it be weird?
Everything we've seen, single room, everything, been tidied up, set aside as if the end of the workday happened. Nothing's out of place. We've set up dinner, didn't eat it.
Well, I suppose it depends what part of the working day they died in.
Somebody had to set up dinner before something went wrong. Was that 5 minutes? Something happened fast.
She kind of smiles, like, I don't... Have you always been part of battles that came at precisely the most convenient moment?
No. You know what happens? People panic, people run, things get knocked over, things get grabbed. Things aren't tidied up and put away nicely.
Shall we continue?
I'm feeling a little worried. But yeah.
Going past that is the common room. It's all tidied away. Like, there's a few kind of, you know, vending machines and games and whatnot. All the vending machines are empty because they don't get supplied very often. Past that is the start of the the bunks, and the first ones that you come to are all like cold to the touch. It seems like they've been depowered, which going off the medic's report makes sense. Essentially, they are now coffins. And they're locked, by the way, just FYI.
Locked.
As you get to about that point, you hear a opening further down the corridor.
I aim my gun that way.
Yep. I would imagine instantly, like, noise. And like walking out from like down the very far end of the corridor. It's quite a long way. You know, you have enough of a shot on anything in the corridor, so is like this person who walks out, like head down, kind of very slumped and very kind of like slowly walking. And they've got like, as they like walk out, you can see they have like this big drill type thing like dragging behind them. A little bit loud.
Hey.
Just keeps walking.
Hey. Identify yourself. Guys, we got someone down here. Not responding.
But you mean they're dead, or?
No. Walking.
Are they armed?
I guess. They got a big hammer thing, drill.
They're heading our way?
Yeah, which way they're heading, Sheepy? Walking towards us, away from us?
You, yeah.
No, they're coming towards us.
The drill's got like a kind of cord thing and is like dragging behind. The cord's dragging behind as well.
I'm gonna have to ask you to stop.
Romy, let's go.
Yeah, alright. And both Romy and Astrid kind of run. When you say I'm gonna have to ask you to stop, like I'm assuming at that point you're kind of shouting.
Yeah.
Like he kind of like stops and he's just kind of there standing and swaying.
Identify yourself.
His head's still like kind of leant forward, kind of very slack body posture.
Nomi will just like wrap a hand around the top of his arm very quietly
you
and
have to move closer towards him, just FYI. He's not.
Oh yeah.
He's a good like at least 10 foot, 15 foot from you.
Oh no, I was talking about Colton.
Oh, sorry. Then yeah.
I'm not touching that, dude.
Yeah,
Holy
no,
shit.
no. I was like, really? Okay.
I've seen movies. I ain't going nowhere near there.
No, she'll just wrap her hand around his shoulder as like imperceptibly as possible and just sort of draw him back and sideways a bit.
Yeah.
So that from a distance they'll kind of seem like part of the wall that they're next to.
Yeah.
And hold her finger to her lips, and she's watching to see if he loses interest.
I am aiming for a headshot right now, but I'm doing like how she beckoned.
He's like in the very center of the corridor. There's enough corridor where you won't have to like squeeze past each other. If he carries on walking, he'll pass kind of like this close to you, but he won't like knock into you if you're like up against.
Is that going back the way we came, for instance, where Romy and Astrid are?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if he loses interest in us first. But
Okay.
I've got a bead on his head and it is not shifting.
Yeah. He carries on standing there, just like not moving or anything. And then like Romy and Astrid come around the corner. And like the gun up. Oh no, sorry, he doesn't have a gun, does he?
Astrid pulls out her gun.
I hold up my hand as if to be like.
And then like Romy's hand like falls on Astrid's shoulder and he just shifts her up against the wall like the other two are doing. There's like another minute, maybe a minute and a half where there's just no noise and everyone's just standing quietly. And then as he starts to drag the drill further forward and just keeps going.
Astrid would start very as quietly as she can, just like creeping forward whilst keeping against the wall. I guess to like try and follow him.
So like as he gets to like closer to you, you can kind of see him like moving his lips slightly, and as he passes by you, like he pays you no attention, and as he passes by you, you hear him saying like gold cavern, mine cavern, and then just carries on past you.
And I slowly walk towards where Astrid and Romy are.
Mm-hmm. Same, but keeping an eye on this guy constantly.
He goes up to the end of the corridor, takes a turn. You hear the door like go as he goes out into the hangar area.
I have no idea what the fuck that was.
Corinne, keep the doors locked. Oh, okay, why? What's happening? Just in case. Alright.
I would make sure the doors are all locked and everything is sealed and requires me to open it.
Okay.
Nomi will just be watching how this guy moves. Is he moving like a tired human, or does it seem wrong somehow?
It doesn't seem wrong. It doesn't even seem tired. It's just lethargic, I guess.
Lazily.
Yeah. It's not like exhausted. It's more kind of clumsy or without care.
Uh-huh. And we've all met up now. Are we in the same place?
You're all up against the side of the corridor. He's kind of like scraped past and then headed off.
They didn't respond to anything.
That
I don't think he can.
is worrying.
There are some species of insects that lay their young inside the minds of another.
What?
It just feels similar.
But the medic said that he did a full autopsy on the first ones to die, and there was nothing wrong with them.
Nothing visible. Maybe not an insect. Maybe something they couldn't test for.
Or whatever it is, obviously something has been happening here. Up until when people in them goes outside, and it's something he's reawakened them. I don't like it. I want to go. Fuck the money. Fuck the credits.
Hey.
You can deliver this shipment somewhere else. There's other planets that will take it. Let's just get our stuff and we'll go. And
What is the shipment?
It's mining equipment, food supplies, the basics.
Is anybody here going to pay for the equipment?
We've been paid on delivery.
By who?
By the company. So it'll be wired to our account once it's been delivered.
Do you think a company would invest further money in a destroyed base? By paying freelancers?
They did say they didn't want freelancers.
If the message got through.
Nomi, this idea that things can control other things. Can that be like underground? Say they found this gold. They drilled it out. Could there be something else in the rock?
There are minerals with all sorts of properties.
Fungus, any?
Fungus, radioactivity. Things we do not understand.
While you're talking, Kareen, the captain comes back into the bridge and says, I haven't heard anything on the report for a bit. Is everything alright in there?
I'm not sure, Captain. They've been exploring. I don't think they're finding people that are alive.
Alright. Patch me through.
Astrid? Colton? Nomi? Captain's here.
Alright.
Oh. Colton.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Unidentified male. Unresponsive. Didn't even seem aware of us, or if he was. Didn't care. Mumbling something.
Alive?
Completely empty. Yeah, moving. The entire facility is empty. Clean. Tidy. They even left their food out. As if they were about to sit down for lunch, but never ate.
But there is a person alive?
Yeah.
I don't know if you call that alive, but...
It was moving, at least.
Alright. Okay. I'm coming in.
Okay.
Secure the hangar.
Okay.
Copy.
Kareen, and he says this over mic too. Kareen, keep the ship prepped and ready to launch.
Will do.
When I get over there, we'll discuss what we're gonna do.
Green's
We'll
gonna
exchange another look with Colton, like,
chug coffee.
As far as Colton's concerned, you're the only person that knows exactly what's happening to this person.
cool.
Because he ain't got a clue. but he does know how to clear and secure a hangar.
Mm-hmm.
And the captain goes to your locker, and what's he?
So he finds a fairly hefty emplacement Gauss rifle. You know how, like, in movies, and you see people holding miniguns and using them as if you could hold them and use them, but you can't really IRL. It would be like this, but it's a Gauss rifle.
He kind of like opens the locker, like his eyes go wide for a second, and then they go kind of like, and he just closes the locker slowly, and holsters his. He like pulls out his belt with his Gauss pistol on. And like holsters it, and then says,
Korean, open the hangar.
Opening, Captain. Please be careful.
Thank you. Oh.
And then he walks out and goes through the door, comes into the hangar. I assume you would all have gone to the hangar. When you go into the hangar, you can see the man. He is essentially like head against the mine entrance because the doors are closed. He's just standing there.
I'm gonna cover him.
Yeah.
While we wait. He's not getting out of my sight.
And then is anyone else doing anything else? Like essentially, Romy asks for the gun back from Nomi for a start.
Yeah, she'll give it to him happily. She's kind of copying what Colton is doing still, because she's like fascinated by getting this right. But she's doing it with a knife, so she's got that in kind of gun stance.
Yeah. And once Roby gets the gun, he checks it and makes sure the safety's on, and then he essentially is like prepared to cover the guy. If the guy made like a sudden rush or something like that, you know, proper zombie horror film, you're far enough away that you have enough reaction time to get a couple of shots off at least, so you're safe distance away, unless you want to get closer.
Colton's safety hasn't been on for about a year, maybe 2 years.
Yeah. Noted. So
you know.
Oh yeah.
Astra's gonna like reconceal her gun, just hoping that Romy hasn't seen what type of gun it is.
As far as you can tell, Romy didn't even notice the gun. So.
Okay, good.
Maybe he did, but as far as you can tell.
I mean, I can, if he didn't like look too closely, I can just say it was one of Colton's.
Yeah. So my guess would be you're all kind of like in the same like little semicircle vicinity type thing. Which means that when the captain walks in, like the door goes and you can hear it and see him, and he kind of
does the thing react to the door opening?
No.
The thing. He's called the thing now.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's the episode of naming things.
And the captain like sidles slowly over to you. He seems quite a stealthy dude. And says, okay, so if we open those doors down to, what is that down there?
There's the mine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the mine.
Okay.
Oh, who's he talking to? Sorry, I just
to all of you in kind of a Soto voice.
Oh, then I'm not talking. I'm keeping an eye on the dude.
Okay. Astrid, what's down there?
That's the mine shaft.
Okay. Astrid?
Yeah.
Good work. Contact Kareen. Get back on the ship.
Thank you.
Okay.
Crane Captain's here now. I'm gonna come back to the ship.
Okay, sounds good.
Astrid is like pale. She doesn't. She really doesn't want to be there, so she's very happy to be told to go back to the ship.
Nomi, can you keep an eye on Astrid and make sure she gets back safe?
Keep an eye on her.
Make sure she gets back on the ship safe. Bodyguard duty, essentially.
I can try.
Thank you.
She looks really unnerved by this. And kind of sort of looks about and looks to Colton, and then deep breath, heads out, but like doing the Colton stance when he was going first through rooms.
So, if we open that door, those doors, he'll go down and he will mine until he's done, and then he'll come back up, and then he'll clear up, and then he'll eat dinner, and then he'll have a shower, and then he'll go to bed.
What?
Yeah.
That's not normal.
I mean,
what you're describing is a normal workday like that, right there.
A completely normal workday, yes.
But that thing I'm looking at now is not normal.
He's in shock.
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 He didn't even respond.
So...
Wait, shock from what? What do you know?
Well, everyone's dead. It's quite shocking.
You don't know that. 10 graves outside. It's this place. It needs more than 10 people.
The medic report?
Colin paid no attention because he was busy guarding and stuff.
It seems like he is the only one left. Now, this puts us in a difficult position. Essentially, we have been hired to deliver goods, not to check on the well-being of a mining facility where everyone's dead. So our options are to renege on the contract, means we probably won't get anything for it. By the time anyone else gets out here, he'll most likely, well, maybe he'll be dead, or maybe he'll still be going on this weird...
So you're saying we won't get paid?
We won't get paid. Another option is to deliver the goods, bring him back on the ship, and take him back to us so he can get help. Probably psychological.
Yeah. You need to be secured.
I am going to be honest, I'm not comfortable bringing someone who may break like that on the ship. We could reach out and see if he will talk. I can't guarantee he's not a danger, though.
We need to get fucking paid.
We do. My preference, if he is unresponsive and essentially dead to the world, is we deliver the goods, we register it, and then we head back to the station.
You know, there's a lot of gold in the storeroom.
The medic report said that they were suspicious that it was possibly the cause.
Gold. Come on.
Colton. Are you willing to go and get the gold and bring it on the ship? And live with the gold on the ship?
Okay.
Go have a look at it then.
Right. Or about?
I'll go and have a look and see if, God damn it, 1 second. Astrid?
Yeah?
Is there any indication that that first report of the gold vein was sent over to Voltorm Expanded?
That it was what?
That it was sent. Was the message actually sent to Voltorm? It was.
Yeah, it had been sent.
or no gold?
If we take it, it'll be registered as existing, and I don't know. I'm going to go and open those gates, the doors. At the very least, we won't have to worry about this individual inside the hangar while we're working. Colton, go and have a look at the gold. It might be worth not delivering the goods, making up some story and just taking the gold with us, because it's probably more than the actual contract. We'll see.
Well, he's not going to pay us, is he?
He's not going to pay us. But
I don't like not getting paid.
We can register the goods delivered, which means we'll get paid. So for now, just go check quickly.
I'm gonna go check the gold.
And the captain.
It's just gold. What's wrong with you? It's just gold.
The captain goes and the doors open. The figure starts kind of going down. You see him heading down into the mines. It's essentially the captain and Romy open the big doors and say, Kareen, open the hangar again, please. We're going to deliver the goods.
Okay, but isn't there only one person here?
There is. But we'll still be paid for delivering the goods.
Oh, okay.
Just very quickly, Colton, you open the door to the supply. How much knowledge do you have of minerals and metals and whatnot?
Of specific minerals and no. I mean, I've got Jack of Trades, but I'm a trader. That's where my knowledge would be, not of actual minerals or anything like that.
I think that's enough for a
broker.
roll.
Sorry, it's called broker.
Yeah, broker. In that case, please give me a roll of I'll call this one survival.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
just as you're looking at the gold and just kind of going over it.
I turned that off. I swear I turned that off.
Yeah, turn it on, turn it off, and give it another roll. That rolled you a bane, so that's a disadvantage essentially. 7. Okay, that's a partial success. So it takes you a little bit of time looking at it, but the second you see it, you think something's off. You've dealt with gold before. You've dealt with you've brokered deals, and it's always required to kind of authenticate enough to know what fool's gold is.
Right.
This isn't gold. This is pyrite.
Okay.
It's still valuable, but nowhere near as valuable as gold.
On the captain.
Go ahead.
There's no gold here.
No?
It's fool's gold.
Is that... What's
Sorry, nickname, slang. Technically it's pyrite. Kinda shines in the same way. People get fooled by it all the time.
How much is it worth?
Just no.
I mean, it's worth, but not really. Considering that we'd be taking it from a corp.
Alright, leave it. We'll leave everything as is. We'll deliver the goods and we'll head back to the station.
Copy.
I'm gonna head down into the mine shaft and see if I can get anything out of this guy. If not, if it doesn't look viable, we'll just leave him here and...
Watch out for, insects.
Insects?
Omi said something about insects.
Okay.
She did.
Romy, once you come back, essentially you and Romy load up all the goods into kind of like a carrier and kind of deliver them into the place. Kareen, you can essentially mark off the goods as delivered and shoot a message. Once you're into space, you can shoot a message back towards Voltorm. Basically, all you need to do is like there's essentially like a scanner. Usually it's operated by someone. There's just a scanner that scans the goods and registers it as delivered. So.
Okay. So I'll do that. Am I not telling them anything about what else we found?
You haven't been you haven't lifted off yet, so it's a moot point.
Okay.
I'm sure the captain will mention something about it when it's time.
Okay. I shoot that off.
Okay. The goods are delivered. You scan them through, so it's all done. Astrid, Nomi, I assume you're essentially just like... Astrid, quick question. Do you immediately go to bunk and to chocolate? I thought I had the Astrid might do.
No, actually. I think she would have sort of gone into the break room, poured herself a cup of Kareen's very strong coffee, and then just like gone and hidden herself down in the engine room. She doesn't want to be anywhere near where all that stuff was.
Okay.
Nomi, once she's... Oh, sorry, carry on.
No, sorry. I was...
Once she's seen Astrid back to the ship as instructed, she would then go back to the base and just wait outside the door.
Yeah.
And she's looking really pissed off.
Okay.
And she still has the knife. I just realized.
She's like standing there with a knife like...
These facts may or may not be unrelated.
So, yeah, once that's all delivered and everything, the captain says, Colton, Romy.
Copy.
He's just down here, mining away. You can hear... Sorry. You can hear in the background, like, a little bit of kind of, like, coming through the mic. I'm gonna reach out and see if he responds. If he doesn't, I'll be straight up. If he's violent, I don't know.
You armed?
I am. And
okay. That thing will destroy a man.
You hear the thumbprint activation of his of his gun as well as he's like, I am.
I assume he's got the present.
And he says, head back to the ship, get everything ready to go. Either way, I'll be leaving pretty quickly, so we're just gonna get off this fucking planet.
Yeah. Check.
Just as a sidebar, that's the first time you've heard him swear, as far as I know. Romy kind of like nods at you, doesn't say anything, and starts heading towards the door. The big doors to the outside have been closed.
Shh. Is there a terrifying woman with a knife out there?
I would assume so, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nomi.
Nomi.
Is he dead?
No.
The captain's gonna see if he can get through to him. He's told us to get the ship ready to go, either way.
He thinks he's in shock.
He's not in shock. You've seen men in shock.
Yeah.
And she just frowns, like, even more pissed off. She does not like being not given all the information.
I can't tell that from your face.
Mm-hmm.
You just look pissed.
Yeah, she'll just kind of like hunker back against the door, waiting. like making it clear that she's not doing a damn thing until he comes out of there.
Do you want one of us to wait with you?
I'll wait.
Alright, I'll head back. And Romy heads back towards the ship. And
If he's not in shock, what's wrong with him?
I don't know. But our captain is not giving us all the information.
Maybe.
And if he is, he's making rash judgments that give me concern.
You ever met a captain before?
Yes.
Most of the ones I know are like this. They usually swear more.
Yes.
I guess we wait in silence.
yeah, the conversation tapers off like that, and we switch to down in the mines, where the captain has just unplugged the guy's drill. Essentially, it was he's not even mining the gold. He's just mining a bit of the wall, essentially, and the drill kind of like. One moment. Sorry, I just have to find something very quickly. The drill goes dead, and the guy, like, his head finally comes up and looks over to the drill, and he starts moving in that direction, and the captain, like, steps forward in front of him, like, with his hand out. He says, alright, calm down. And the guy's head kind of, like, tilts up, and, it's the first time that his eyes have been seen, so what the camera sees and what the captain sees is this kind of, like, very sunken, dark-rimmed eyes that seem very, very... not completely dead, but very devoid of emotion. And the man says, they're all dead. And there's like a second pause. And then the captain, like, swings up his gun, aims at the guy's head, says, I know, and pulls the trigger. And we will end there for today.
You bastard!
I get to stab him now, right? Liz?
So, there you go.
My God.
Okay. All right, Sheepy.
Jeez.
Sorry, just for everyone's sake, including my own, because I'm tearing up a bit with this song, I'm just going to stop that song.
This is a good idea.
Yeah. It's very sweet, but very sad.
So, how's everyone
Hello, ship
doing?
AI.
The fuck was that, Sheepy?
Holy crap. 4th episode.
Now we're flying.
Uh-huh.
Also, that was the creepiest fucking horror shit ever.
Yeah.
I love it.
So good. It was so good.
Anyone who wants to try, like, we've got a few minutes if you want to chat and talk about, because this was an episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it was so like fun and lighthearted in the beginning.
Yeah.
That whole part, and then So I didn't realize, I said this in the group chat, but I didn't realize that there was this, I feel like I still have an effect on, but I don't. There was this like background hum that was happening that I totally was not like actively aware of. It was just creeping me the fudge out. So the whole time I'm sitting here like, oh my God, like freaked out.
And then when it stops, you just go, oh, there was a weight on me that I didn't realize.
Yeah, I was like, wait, oh my God.
So, any thoughts? And
I'm a little disappointed that the captain didn't want a really ridiculously unwieldy emplacement gun.
It would have been good if there was a horde of zombies or something.
Yeah.
No.
So I messaged Sheepy. I was like, I'm just going to say something stupid and I don't want to break his game or anything. So I like typed. I let him know that it was a ridiculous thing. That although might seem useful is not actually going to be that useful to anyone.
How much did you guys think that there was going to be some kind of like alien or zombie or like, you know?
I thought it was like a spore or
Yeah,
something.
I thought
That's
it was
why
some kind of
Corinne
fungusy, insecty.
especially with, yeah, exactly. Like I figured they would come back and it would just infect us all, and that's what Corinne was like.
Because you did the food setup, I kind of figured where you were going with that. But first I was thinking the thing.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, what's that story? Thingy on something pass? A load of hikers went out in the snow and all their food and clothes were just laid out there, and then they disappeared and stuff. But it looked weird as fuck, but it was all actual normal stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, is he going with there? But then the sound is still fucking playing, and then we see this fucking zombie, and I'm like, oh, maybe I was wrong. And we still don't know what's up, because that didn't really register as shock, but also kind of did a bit. Like, but then the captain fucking shot him.
Yeah, it's a viable excuse right up to you know that the captain killed that guy.
I'm glad that he did, because it was going to take Nomi a bit of time to shank him to death. There's no way you leave somebody in that state. That's just inhuman.
Because my predisposition of like horror movies, I'm like, I'm just going to take the shot. But I'm like, no, Colton wouldn't just shoot this dude.
Yeah.
Everything inside you is like, this is a horror. There's something.
Well, also because we've all played games like where zombie spores occur by shooting them. Let's not.
About 4 hours before the show started, I had a lightning bolt idea in my head, which was to record with background noises the like video game audio tapes.
Yeah, those were good.
That was amazing.
I was like, we're all gamers. We all love that shit.
Yeah.
And I was originally going to do it myself, like live, and I was like, no, recorded.
Yeah.
Sound so much
It was
better.
somehow more immersive that you weren't doing it live.
Yeah, for sure.
How weird is that?
I took a punt with it because I thought it'd be fun, and
It was
amazing.
I'm glad it hit.
For sure.
Holy crap!
I'm sad we didn't get to play snowballs more.
Yeah.
I'd do a whole episode that was just a mass cast snowball fight.
Do you guys have any idea how proud and happy I was when you started having a like light-hearted snowball fight just before the horror? I was like, not only did we have this beautiful dinner scene where everything's like
the incident.
We had the incident. We then have like a snowball fight where people are getting on, and then you go in there and everything's like horror and dark and worrying and nervous, and it was such a nice like transition. Also, sidebar, I won't keep you too much longer. Tess, that dinner scene was fucking brilliant. I really enjoyed it.
It was really good.
Today's props goes to Tess for that
Definitely props for Tess.
amazing meal.
It's atrocious cooking. This must occur again. I can't wait to see what happens.
So, Corinne was so downhearted with what she'd created that for once, Romy like put his foot down and fought. Like the captain was gonna leave and be like, "This is some bullshit. I'm not eating this." And Roby, like, full on mother hen was like, no,
Yeah.
you sit down.
Like, no, you
eat
will sit there and make her feel appreciated.
Yeah.
Roby's the nicest person.
There's been a lot of teaching, right?
Yeah.
This episode. There's been a lot of
I
like,
enjoyed the gun scene with you, Sophie.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
I'm so pissed off with you.
It's one of those things in certain campaigns and shows you just wouldn't do because you'd feel like, oh, this isn't needed, you know, it's the party needs to keep moving and go to the next dungeon or whatever. It's really cool to just be able to be like, there was a bit of me that I was like, should I kind of let them off the hook and be like, hey, let's finish it here. I was like, no, they're enjoying themselves, like just doing a gun cleaning instruction, which wasn't needed at all.
It wasn't.
I love all that.
That was
Sorry.
like a that was a test for Astrid.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out Astrid because something ain't clicking.
I love all those side things.
Engineer.
Those
Moment with
conversations
Naomi.
when the frustration comes out of people where like we've had a couple of episodes of like, okay, that's your job, and it's got to the point now, I think, with characters like Colton and like Romy, where the rest of the crew are kind of like, yeah, we get it, you're military, but fuck off, stop patronizing me.
By the way, Safi, because Astrid would know this, and I don't think anyone else knows aside from the captain. Do you know? Did I tell you what Romy did before he met you?
No, you didn't. We need to talk about that.
I sent you, because she would know that, so you should know that too.
Oh.
Yeah, which makes it interesting, doesn't it?
Oh shit, son.
Yeah.
Look at this fucking blue balls
Now
flat
I'm
over here.
so curious, damn it.
FOMO.
So yeah, is there anything else? Like we can probably go to outro here unless anyone else wants to touch on anything.
Oh, just that the scene in the beginning with Nomi was really fun too.
Yeah.
In the
It
garden.
was so cute. Like baby's first intro to meditation session. Like, do something to turn your brain off. We'll move on to stretching later because I feel like that's too many things for you right now.
There was
That actually reminded me that you do need to exercise, and I'm like, oh, my character would totally be doing that because he's.
and he immediately sent me a
Cares
message
about
saying,
that.
I'm setting up a boxing.
I did. That's just not shit you think of.
Yeah.
So well done for like bringing that up. To be honest.
There was a bit without music in that scene because I was desperately trying to find a moment to start the meditative music, and I couldn't find the right moment. I was panicking. I was like, I need to start this meditative music.
Oh, so what the fuck's up with Nomi? And like, I'm just gonna like copy exactly what you do. Picking up on shit. Like, what the fuck is your story,
trying to be
woman?
good.
How else to do
Can't
anything?
everyone
Like-
do that?
Learning.
No,
She
not
keeps
everyone
getting-
can
she
just
keeps getting
completely
left
ape
places.
someone.
Aside from anything else, like she wants to be useful, and I think she's really aware of the fact that that room, that farm, is the only use she is in the eyes of the rest of this crew. And she's like, well, if I'm gonna be here, if I'm gonna go in and see the interesting things and be useful, because she wants to be useful, I'm gonna have to learn some skills. Learning to dance was a great idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh god, there was one other thing I wanted to touch on. Oh yeah. It scared me when I activated that door. I was totally in it there with you guys, and I was like, man, this is so creepy and spooky. And then I hit play, and it was a bit louder than I was expecting. It was like, I was like, oh crap. So.
I mean, it worked. It was spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the dragging, I didn't have the sound effect, the right one. I actually uploaded the wrong one, so I was like, oh shit, I need to. And I was like, should I have it on loop or not? And then I had it on loop. I was like, this sounds dumb. No, just the one off every now and then.
I love episodes like this that make you ask questions without asking them about how your characters would react to something that you never foresaw.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Nomi would get so fucking pissy at not being given all the information. But once I was in that moment, it was like, of course she would. Because otherwise, what can she base facts on?
Yeah.
It's got to be accurate. Like seeing like Colton react to the gold and what that thought process is like. Those tiny little micro indications of what fuels people are really fucking cool.
Wasn't even fucking gold, sheepy.
It wasn't.
Oh, you're right.
I just like felt that like right off the bat, like a second there was like, there's like no bad juju, bad.
Yeah.
That's why Ashley started getting like really panicky and wanted to leave because she.
That was quite fun because everyone's like going, "Oh no, the gold's bad." But I'm Colton and I want to get fucking paid.
How much of a switch or like jarring switch was it for you guys when the captain came in? It was just like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. Everything's gonna get sorted, you know.
Actually
felt
captaining
safe.
him for once.
I felt fucking safe. I was like, "Oh, cool. I know how to do this shit."
Yeah.
The captain's taking charge. That hasn't happened yet.
I have to say, Safi, it almost broke my heart when he was like, Astrid, go, and she was like, thank you, and then just the way you said it was fucking. Oh god damn.
Nomi was already angry by that point.
Yeah.
Been like loads of tells and she doesn't like it.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Good episode, everyone.
Thank you. Yes, thank you everyone. That you played that out beautifully. Just for all of my regulars and especially patrons, the Sunkist module is now up. If you go to Patreon and you are a patron, you can download it and run your own After Sunkist campaign. So feel free to go check that out. And if you do run one, let me know how it goes because I'm super interested as how that all runs. Included with that, as we do our outro, we're about to switch to outro in a second. I just want, for the sake of my own amusement, a theory of each one of you as to what the fuck that was. So we'll go around and just you know, it could be like zombies or whatever, or ghosts. So Tess.
Well, I sort of said it before, but spores of some kind.
Okay. Safi?
Witchcraft in space.
Witchcraft in space, I like it. I was about to say Nobi, but...
Juju.
Amelia?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the insects theory.
Insect spores. Okay. Peachy?
Mine's gonna sound stupid. They unleashed a ghost. Or something.
No, I mean,
they unleashed something by taking out that vein.
Ancient burial ground of an alien.
Something like that.
past.
Like fucking Ghosts of Mars
ghosts.
shit.
I mean, Ghosts of Mars is a terrible film, dude. Don't reference it.
Yes, with caveats.
So thank you, especially to the cast. Their links will be in the description to go check them out. I advise heavily that you do. And we'll be back next week with another episode of Drifting, where possibly there's going to be a massive smackdown argument between our botanist and our captain. I'm not sure yet. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? It's a big, big world out there. Plenty possibilities. All of them is killing me soft. I want the real me figured out right here, right now. Is this lifestyle the right style for me? Only with time will I see. But by then it'll be too late. Looking in the mirror at a stranger's face. If I wasn't right, would you tell me straight? Or would you let me? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid. Would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? I want something great instead of all dismay, but I can't find my way. I fall on my face, I flatline my faith. I want all escape, let's throw it all away. Just like the thoughts I trade for a couple of bucks in this big bucket of love. I'm steady throwing my up, hoping for that 1 in 100. But fuck stressing the numbers. Pop this deck in your summer and see the inner of my head declog like a plunge. Y'all be akin to my feces, your best bet be the Bee Gees. The way you think living's staying alive. I got my head and my smile, but don't know where I'll fly. I'm just spreading my wings, I'm fine with taking my time. I used to rush it all out, I'm trying to slow it all down. Take my feet and lose ground, give them somewhere to hang. I always want it right now, trying to slow it all down. Take my mind and lose ground, watch it floating away, yeah. Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid, would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream? Where do I move in this world? Could you please tell me what the hell I'm doing for it? Bring me to my knees. I'm so stupid, would you tell me honestly if I wasn't meant to be what I see when I dream?